Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 179. Misclick just made it in. Just made it in on the cut here. How you doing, Misclick?
Hey, we're doing better. We're doing better. Technical issues. Good. Yes.
Figured out the USB hub. All right, cool.
Yes.
So Misclick is here tonight. Cool. Let's go over. We have Nate the Hate. What's going on, Nate?
Yes, I am here.
Podcast rolling along a lot better now, huh? After that direct.
Yeah, a lot of nice comments in that comment section this week. A lot of people coming back saying, "Oh, the collection was real. I didn't believe it." Like, look at that. Who would have thought a rumor that was going around for 5 months would actually be true? Shocking.
As opposed to the week prior, when people didn't like.
Well, shit happens.
I have to give them a little lecture too on my streams as well, because they're like, "Well, it was real." I'm like, "Man, shut your."
Beat them up.
We've been telling you that it was real. Stop it, man.
It was real, but and I had like people in the comments like, "Yeah, but it was real, but." I was like, "Isn't it funny that Mario 64 is exactly what I told you to expect?" And everyone's like, "I thought it was going to be Odyssey engine." Really? You thought Nintendo was going to remake Mario 64 on the Odyssey engine and give you 3 games for $60? Really?
Yeah, right.
I mean, are you delusional? This is Nintendo. They give you the bare minimum for a premium price.
Okay, we'll get into that. And we have our up there. Oh, Sean.
We can hear you.
Anyway, our guest tonight, Jake, Game Ranks. Jake, how you doing?
Hi. Hey,
thanks
I'm
for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Got a lot to go over because you played both Tony Hawk and Avengers, so you'll be in on those conversations. Very cool. Very cool. Let's go over to Sean. Sean, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay. Good to have Sean here as well. RGT85.
Good to be here.
Opened up his new wrestling channel.
I did.
What's it called?
Tables, Ladders, and Sean.
Nice. That is a good name. That is a good name. And you're celebrating your 500 subscriber mark already.
1,000 now. We did it.
1,000 subscriber mark. You just started that earlier today, didn't you?
Yeah, like 2 hours ago, hour ago, something like that.
How many videos are up right now?
0. I don't even have graphics up yet.
First video is going to be your 1,000 subscriber celebration.
Thank you.
You're almost ready for monetization, bro.
Right?
There you go. OJ's with us tonight. What's going on, OJ?
It's going pretty good. I've been having a blast playing Avengers. It's really one of the best games that I've ever played.
Oh boy,
it's really good. I can tell like all the quality that was put into like the game. Like seriously, I'm actually really impressed.
OJ.
We'll definitely get to that one. Jordan, what's up, man?
What's going on?
The computer's still as fancy as it was last week, I see.
Yeah, do I need to hide it from view? Because you always get distracted when you look up. I gotta turn the camera a little bit.
No, it's fine.
I'm always watching it spin in the background. It's nice. Leave it.
Nice. How you been, Jordan? How's the week been?
It's been pretty busy. Not gonna lie, but it is what it is.
A Kickstarter turned out good though. Everything looks good on that side. So looking forward to any updates on that movie as you guys get it rolling.
Yep, some awesome stuff. Can't really talk about a lot of it right now because there now is NDAs, but yeah, very excited about it.
Cool.
That's how you know it's real.
Yeah, that's how you know it's real when the contracts get put down. So you cannot say anymore.
And then we have MVG. What's going on, man?
It's great to be here.
MVG's getting some of those HDMI videos. I like that PlayStation 1 HDMI. I'm gonna have to get a hold of that. That thing looked good.
Yep, I got an Xbox One as well that I'll be reviewing on the channel here pretty soon too. So check out that.
I really want to see how that looks through HDMI. Like it's tapped in the chips. That's gonna look really good from the original Xbox. And then Max, you're gonna be leaving about 25 minutes or so from now, something like that.
About 50. I'll stay for a couple topics and talk about games we're playing. But yeah, I got a date. But
okay.
Busy week. I played 30 hours of Avengers and about 30 hours of Tony Hawk this week.
Can I ask a question though? Are you gonna play Avengers with your date? I think that's what you guys should do.
I'm trying to get a good date, and I feel like if I'm like, here's ugly Tony Stark, she's gonna immediately leave. So I'm gonna wait for a second.
But he's got
I think you're being a little too harsh. I think you're being a little too harsh.
Yeah, right.
Let's see what we have tonight. We have the Super Mario Direct that we had, of course, Tony Hawk 1 and 2, Marvel's Avengers, and then I wanted to go over some of the Nvidia RTX stuff that they had, the 30 series, while Sean might just kind of kind of look off to the side the whole time while that's happening. And
The wrestling pay-per-view is on anyway.
Oh, okay. I think some of us are actually pretty interested in that. OJ, you even mentioned it on Twitter, so it might be a good topic to go over in case you're thinking about upgrading a video card as well over there.
I forget stuff that I'm talking about all the time. So what was I interested in again?
Oh, the new Nvidia cards that were shown this week.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, here we go over that. In case you're thinking about upgrading that video card in your computer now.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting a new PC. So this Christmassy time, cool. Black Friday time. So yeah, I'll buy one of those.
We'll walk you through the lineup and let you know as we go through which one you should probably look at too. So
I'm gonna buy all 3 of them. And
there you go. Cool. All right, let's start with what we've been playing. Anything but Tony Hawk 1 and 2 and the Avengers, since we're just gonna go right to that anyway after this. So anything you guys have been playing other than those? Go ahead, MVG, hit us with it.
Game of the year, Flight Simulator.
Okay.
Flight Simulator, baby.
Still.
Where are you flying? Where are you going?
I'm getting Chivos left and right in that game. It's been awesome. I've been doing the landing challenges right now, and they're pretty tough, but I'm getting the hang of it. Which is
I started downloading it. I'm really excited. I started downloading it last night. I'm really excited to get into this game next week when it's ready to play. So I will be checking it out. Yes, I will. But man, landing challenges though, interesting. Did you get the full setup and the joystick and everything?
Oh, dude, the HOTAS, whatever they call it. I want to get one of those setups now. I'm like really into it now. So I want to get like the ultra wide, 3-screen thing and the HOTAS. I think it'll be really awesome.
You should just get
I don't have that.
Those monitors that go vertical. Get like 5 of those and just play
yeah.
Like, what do you pick? Like Southwest Airlines? Is it like what's Delta? What's the?
Nah, man. I mean, did you not play Pilot Wings on the Nintendo 64? I mean,
no, I never liked Pilot Wings. I played on the Super Nintendo. I played Pilot Wings on the 64. I played Pilot Wings on the. No, I'm just being stupid now.
Flight Simulator back
stream it. MVG, can you stream it, please?
We need streams.
I would like to, but I think like it chews up my GPU as it is. So I don't think I have enough resources to stream at the same time. Like I need that 3080 to come out.
Yeah, that's gonna be legit when that drops. Yeah, that's cool. I'm curious what award it's got to be nominated for something at the end of the year. I don't think it's gonna be Game of the Year, but like I don't know.
Most amazing technology.
Best escape from reality.
Best
best flight simulator.
Will they have a
game?
Will they have a best code? Will they have like a category for best graphics? So that might be something that gets nominated for.
Worst game for people with bandwidth caps.
Yeah,
like
true, yeah. How big
can Stadia run this?
Can Stadia run this? Hey, xCloud can, right?
Yeah, I think
there
so.
We go. We're in.
That's how I promote it. We can actually stream flight.
Okay, how big is the file size for this now, MVG? Because I'm not downloading it now.
I think all said and done, it's like 130 because it's you download like the first piece and then you think you're done, and then you go into the game and it's like, oh, by the way, you've got another 90 gigs to download. So it's pretty beefy.
Then you're streaming into data too. Like you have data coming through the.
Yep. Yeah, because it's pulling weather and maps from Azure and all that stuff. It's insane, man. Like I love the tech that they've used with the game.
It gets a little too close to home because you fly by your house and it like looks just like your house.
Dude, that's the best part. Like I was.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah,
I was driving my plane down I-35, going for my. It was so much fun, man. There's so many cool things you can do.
You landed and just started driving.
Yeah. You turn all the damage off, right, and you just drive on roads and stuff. It's awesome.
Wow. I saw that thing where since it's pulling real-time telemetry from the whole planet, I saw the people actually flying into that hurricane, and there's pictures of people flying into it, and it's crazy. It looks like real life. It doesn't even seem like a game. It's insane.
Wow, that is interesting to see. You can do like actually like fly into like weather systems and stuff. So that's what I'd be interested in doing. If there's a big storm like going across the U.S., just to fly into it and see what it looks like.
I wonder if you can catch a tornado. That would be interesting.
I don't know. Guys,
you just had a tornado around here 2 days ago.
Yeah, what happens if you do that? If you fly into those weather systems, MVG, and you have damage and stuff on, will it actually crash you? Like, let's say there's a tornado. Can you fly into the tornado and get like
man, like I don't want to talk about this too long, but like there was one video that I saw. Some guy was flying through the Swiss Alps, and like ice was forming on his wings and his windows, and man, it was like a real scary situation. He's like, what do I do? And he like he navigated the plane out of the ice and like lowered the altitude and everything, and he like he was really good at it. He got out of that situation, but like if he kept flying through it, his plane would have just crashed. It would have been a disaster for him.
That's so cool.
That is so cool. Like the depth, because I mean, I've put like 12 hours into it, just kind of checking it out, and that's something that you would only learn if you just like real life. You would only learn that if you flew into an extremely cold climate. That's really cool.
Did you see that? There's that glitched building that's 200 stories tall, where like it turns out they scanned these like public records of buildings, and one guy accidentally on a spreadsheet like pressed his hands down one day, and it said this building in the middle of a neighborhood is 120 stories tall. So if you're flying along, there's just this skyscraper to the moon in the middle of town. Like, how did this happen?
That's great.
Let's go over to Jordan. You play anything other than Tony Hawk, Jordan, or is that your main thing?
No, I tried a couple other things this week. I finally popped in Assassin's Creed 3 remastered version.
Oh, what system?
On the PlayStation 4. I've had it for a while now, and it feels like it's worse than the original launch release. At least on the PS4. Like I don't know, there's a lot more glitches in terms of like your character just getting stuck on stuff. But it also reminds me how good of a character the opening is, like before you find out who you really play as.
Yeah,
like Hatham is such an interesting character, and then it's like, well, never mind, go play as Connor. I was like, all right, that's fine. And then I started playing Spellbreak again. I tried it out last year in the demo or alpha, whatever it was in, and I played it a little bit on the Switch last night with some friends, and it's pretty fun. I like that a lot.
I saw that pop up. That game's fun. That's good.
It's like if you took the building out of Fortnite and then some really fun movement controls about like floating and how you upgrade your gauntlets throughout how you play, it's actually pretty fun. Yeah. On my second game, I won my first match.
The building stuff is the thing that annoys me about Fortnite.
Same here.
Like
that's out of it.
Okay.
That's out of it. And it's just spells, and you can combine them. So like if you can have two gauntlets at once, let's say you throw like a tornado out and you have fire, and you can throw the fire, you can create a fire tornado.
The scale of the spells is huge too. Like you're not.
Yeah.
It does very little justice just to be like, oh, it's a tornado. No, it's a tornado.
Yeah, you make a tornado, and the lightning strike is just like a giant area of effect thing. It's pretty cool. I like the game.
It's free now, right?
Platforms,
and it's crossplay. I was playing with my friend on PlayStation. I was playing on the Switch just to try it on the Switch. The Switch is okay at running it. Not bad. Obviously, if you have a PC or a PlayStation or whatever else it's on, I'm sure it'll be a better option than the Switch version, but it runs fine on the Switch for what it does.
Okay. I'll check that out. That's free to play?
Free to play.
We gotta play. Down Road Company.
What about Jake? You play anything interesting this week other than Avengers and Tony Hawk?
I've been dipping my toe into Spiritfarer, and it's pretty cool.
Ooh, okay. I think that's one I think I picked that one up on the Switch. I haven't played it yet though. Is it good?
Yeah, I'm only a couple hours into it. It's very lo-fi. It's very chill. It's a lot of just kind of like mindless planting crops, growing crops, feeding your friends. But like the dialogue, the story, the world they're building is very like endearing and makes you think about death a lot, which is cool.
Wait, is that the one that also did that also
hug them?
That hit Game Pass as well? Am I thinking of the same one?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, that's actually one I'll just download on Game Pass.
I highly recommend it. Even also, with it, just because the dialogue and story and everything is very like charming, and yet there's like a hug button, and it's just the way it's animated, the sound, just everything kind of comes together really well. And so far, so good. I'm hoping I can kind of stick the landing in terms of like how it does deal with like death and passing on and like shepherding souls. That's essentially what you're doing, and it's like metal as hell, even though it's like cutesy animated. So I'm looking forward to finishing it eventually.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, nice, awesome. I'll check that one out. I'm down on Game Pass as well. So I've been playing a few things outside of Tony Hawk and Avengers. I started up Wasteland 3.
Oh.
And I played maybe an hour or two because I did that on Monday just before the Tony Hawk code came through, and then Avengers started the day after, so it was just those two games. But so far, it's actually a pretty good take on the strategy RPG genre. I mean, that's how the other Wasteland games are, but there's just a little bit more to this when it comes to managing your characters and even the supporting characters. They just get killed half the time, but it's kind of like a OJ, you play a lot of the strategy RPGs at times, right? It's kind of a strategy RPG where instead of cutscenes separating the skirmishes and the battles, you actually just run through the world. And then when you run into a battle, it automatically lays down the tiles on like the ground, and then you go into a battle. So I've liked it so far, but I'm like 2 hours in. This game's apparently pretty long, so I'll have to play more. It's on Game Pass though, so I'll have to play more of it before I can really talk too much about it. But that was what I played mostly on Monday before Avengers and Tony Hawk came through. What about Sean?
Playing arguably the most disappointing game I have ever.
Oh, I'm ready for this one. Let's hear it, Sean. Let's hear it. I know
NBA
Yep.
2K21. What the fuck did you do? How do you take a page out of EA's book? Okay, like,
go on.
It's not good. It's not a fun game, and they've completely ruined it with the new shot mechanic. I actually filmed and edited a video for tomorrow about it, going more in depth, but it's crazy how they took away the thing that made the series unique in the first place. At least to me, like, NBA Live never had that, never had the shot stick, and the shot stick is what made NBA 2K great. And this new control scheme for shooting, you can airball free throws.
I was hoping you would say the other game, Sean.
Yo, Sean, did you see what Damian Lillard said on Twitter?
Yes. He said he couldn't. The shot was off.
That's how you know this is garbage basketball. When an NBA player says, "How do I play basketball?" When an NBA All-Star says, "How do I play basketball?"
He's the cover athlete for the standard edition.
Yeah, he's the cover. He's on the damn cover, and he's like, "I don't know how to play."
The thing of it is, like, people in the chat are saying, "Oh, it's a sports game. They just do the same shit every year." And yeah, for the most part, they do. But 2K usually tinkers with the actual basketball. They try different things. Some of the things work, some of the things don't. But this is such a drastic change from NBA 2K20, and really such a drastic change since, like, NBA 2K5 on the PS2, which I believe was the one that had Ben Wallace on the cover.
Yes, that was Ben Wallace, and $20 too. I played the hell out of that game.
Yeah, like, I've been playing this series since the Dreamcast, so it's not like I'm some sort of spring chicken here, but it's so crazy. And you can see so many people just say
AI was on the cover, man.
Yeah, that was when was the NBA 2K1 was amazing. The early ones were so good on Dreamcast.
It's just It's very bizarre, and like, I go more in depth into it because really there's two ways to shoot. You can either shoot just by, so if you've ever played an NBA 2K game, usually this is your shooting. You want to shoot to the left, you do left, right, whatever. Hold it down. Okay, the only way to shoot with the shot stick is just by going down. And what happens when you go down is a meter will come up, and you have to sort of cradle the thing into wherever the meter is to get it right, or else it'll go too far left, too far right. You can also use a standard button to do it, but that brings up a different meter that's not based on necessarily precision of left or right, but is instead based on timing. So if you're switching back and forth and trying to find out which one's more comfortable, they're two completely different meters that play completely different. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Have you considered that you're just bad at the game?
No, because I'm not bad at it.
I just have to troll you. I don't know anything about basketball. I'm a little bitch.
It's just,
I don't know how this works.
it's so weird. It's so weird.
Why did they change it? Was
I don't know.
Some intention to make it better? Like,
because
why did they try?
On the flip side, they mapped dribble controls more so to the analog stick now, which used to not be, it was sort of a thing, but it was more based on like holding turbo and then doing a certain motion, whereas now it's more of just like, if you want to do a quick jab, just quick jab, you're fine. So in that aspect, it's actually decent because you can actually do more dribble moves easier, I should say. It's easier to do dribble moves than it has been in previous years, but I would rather have easier shooting than easier dribble moves. Like, the dribble moves should be something that, it's not something that every player can do anyways, so it should be something to where by practicing the dribble moves you become better at it, and so you could do more intricate things, whereas shooting is something that everyone can do.
So it sounds like you're not happy that they changed up some of the stuff in the game.
No, and it's weird because initially I didn't mind it on the demo, and like you can find a tweet of me saying like I didn't mind the new shot thing, but then when I thought back to it, when playing the demo, you can only play as two teams. You can only play as the Bucks and the Clippers, and I would always play as the Bucks, and I would always be Giannis, and I would just drive to the hole, and I would literally like beat the Clippers by like 30 or 40 points every time I played, and Giannis would have 50 or 60 of those points, with the vast majority of them just being dribble drives and stuff to the hole without actually thinking. I'm not doing jump shots, I'm not really swinging the ball all that much out to the 3-point line or anything like that. So I wasn't getting the actual experience that you would get if you choose a normal team where you're playing against a normal person who's not brain dead AI.
So they should have just left the game the same.
They should have just done a simple roster update, maybe improve the graphics a bit, and do your stupid My Career shit, which is, once again, here's a fun thing. So in my career thing, and I have footage of this in my video, for some reason, like my player at the start of it, because you make a player base that looks like you're like on a boat and you're sitting there watching a YouTube video of yourself from like high school, and the player for some reason is just like old man winter. Like my beard was completely gray in the video, and like there's all these textures, like all the microphone and the cameras that are in your face, the textures are just flickering all over the place. And I was like, what the fuck? So accidentally, I was trying to skip it because I hate stories in sports games. And I was trying to skip it, and I ended up exiting out, and so I had to go into it again, and I had to sit there and watch it again. But watching it again, it did the exact same thing. So it was just like, did you try this out? Did you test this? Why am I an old man? It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
So you're gonna have a video on that, right?
Yeah, it'll be up tomorrow.
I think you're playing as Benjamin Button.
I don't know.
I think with the pandemic, they had even less time than they usually get to even do anything, right? Because these are early games. So
yeah, and the thing of it is you're better off buying NBA 2K20 right now for the Switch. If it's still I think it still might be $5, even if it's not. You're better off buying it because the rosters are exactly the same, because they haven't done trades or anything. Like, the playoffs are going on right now. There's no draft class implemented into the game. So like you shouldn't even, like you're still playing the old roster. So it's like,
oh, that's weird.
That is really weird.
It's bizarre.
Oh man, yeah,
$60.
Sports guy. What about OJ? What'd you play, man? Anything good this week?
I didn't play anything outside of what I normally play. So just like Smash and Mario Kart. I always play those two games.
Sure.
Smash and Mario Kart, getting ready for hopefully some DLC for Smash Brothers pretty soon here. Almost got, just to give you guys a little update, almost got everybody to Elite Smash. I got Toon Link, Lucario, and Bayonetta. All of them are in Elite Smash now. I have about maybe 9 more characters left for everyone in Elite Smash. So I'm hyped about that. I'll probably finish that off maybe in the next couple weeks.
Got Zelda yet?
Zelda? Oh yeah, I've had Zelda in there. Yeah, Zelda's really easy to get into Elite Smash because she's really stupid. So like she has really dumb attacks that she can do that just trick people up. Her neutral B just like eats through stuff, so people online just run right into her attacks.
Oh, the neutral B. You gotta look out for that one.
Yeah. You gotta look out for the neutral
That's
B.
why we look in real life.
The neutral B. She just spins around and does magic, and everyone's just like, hey, and just gets hit by it. It's pretty easy to get hit by that online. So did that Mario Kart, of course, and I played Avengers. I didn't get Tony Hawk because GameStop is awesome and they're shipping it to me tomorrow. So I'll get Tony Hawk.
Yeah, mine came a day late because the only way to get it on release day is if you paid that extra, like, okay, that guaranteed release, like $20 extra.
What?
No.
What?
Yeah, it's BS. If you just pay regular shipping, it's like, I'll get it a day late, but you can pay like $20. We'll make sure it's on release day.
I don't know why I bought it from there. Like,
because that was where you could pre-order it at the time, and
and I freaking pre-ordered it, which is stupid. I forgot that I even pre-ordered it there, and then was upset like, why is somebody stealing money out of my account? So it was dumb that I even did it in the first place.
But to be fair, Amazon screwed me over because I ordered the collector's edition. It's supposed to come Friday. It's not coming until tomorrow. Luckily,
Friday.
Oh really?
Oh my god, yeah.
Mine shipped out. It'll be here tomorrow. But luckily, I ended up getting a review copy out of nowhere. So the difference is that I hate GameStop. That's the difference. It's that I don't like GameStop, and Amazon is
It's
Oh.
blue. I like that it's blue right here.
That's
under the
pretty.
grip.
I'm waiting for mine to come in.
This collector's edition with a fake signature by Tony Hawk. He printed that on, baby. Look at that.
Oh, it's a fake. You made it seem as if it was real, Max.
I thought it was, and you know what? I was wrong. It's dude. I googled it. I googled. I was like, "Did Tony Hawk sign my skateboard?" It said it's an authentic printing. I was like, "God damn it!"
What about
Max was like, "I get an autograph board. That's bullshit."
I almost like chucked this by accident. I was gonna be like, all right, see you later.
Right. Why is it across your TV like that?
Because it looks
I'm
cool.
waiting for it to
goddamn
just take the TV with it.
Oh, it's going to. It's going to. My date's going to show up. My office is exploded, and I go, "Hi, I have problems."
Your comments on your stream where everyone was like, "The TV, the TV."
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. I wouldn't be. I was playing Tony Hawk. So I was just like, I'm like, "Oh, Chet will do whatever it wants."
what about
started hazing him.
what about Click? What'd you play this week? Anything good?
I played something that I can't talk about yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's
soon. Soon.
Hyperscape 2.
Soon. TM. Okay, I swear to God, man, if you bring up how much
Hyperscaper.
1v1 me, the bitch.
Hyperscape 3. Is there a 2? Hyperscape 3? Let's go.
No. I will say though, I had fun with the game, but I'm not gonna say. We'll see.
Soon.
It's soon. What's the other thing? No, other than that, just the normal. So I've been like kind of busy with like a whole bunch of other things right now. So I've just like been streaming pretty late, like throughout the night. So it's just been like Overwatch and Heroes and stuff like that. Just
awesome.
Chilling.
Cool. That works. All right, Nate. Let's hear it.
Nothing weird. I played Tell Me Why Chapter 2 came out on the 3rd, and it is a very good episode. The final episode will come out next week on the 10th. It's developing the story very nicely. The characters are developing. It's a good game. People should be playing it, and if you have Game Pass, it's on it.
How long is each episode?
About 4 hours.
Okay, so it's gonna end up being like it's gonna be 3 episodes, so like a 12-hour story overall, 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah, you can go through it quicker if you don't look for the collectibles or all the conversation scenes. You could probably do it in like 3 hours if you just kind of go story moments.
Okay. You said the story is interesting and all of that because it is on Game Pass. I mean,
yeah, it's on Game Pass. It's a Microsoft published game, so Microsoft put out an exclusive this year, and nobody's talking about it.
I mean, it's one of those like more story driven kind of walking like.
Yeah, it's a Life is Strange type experience, so it's still a very niche type appeal.
Based on what people are saying, though, I think I could see that showing up at the end of the year in the Game Awards for like story or something. The way people are talking about it now, I need to check it myself, but it
has potential.
Yeah, so
it's also a slow year of releases, so it will probably get more award recognition than it would in a normal year. But it deserves a nod. It's a quality game, and I want to see how they wrap up the story next week.
Okay. Very cool. Was that the mostly what you played? I don't know. I usually show up with like weird indie games that we're not sure if we're allowed to say on stream or not.
I did play a weird indie game. I don't remember the name of it. It's like Cursed Connection or something. You're playing it's supposedly you're playing a multiplayer game online, but you're not playing against anyone's. It's just computer, and it's getting hacked, and you see like the message board in the corner, like, "Hey, come find me." And the map is convoluted as all hell, and you're walking through tunnels where you can't see shit because the game's dark as sin. And then a guy's just sitting there, and you're getting chased by like this virtual demon, and you can shoot it. And you meet this random computer player, like, "I'll help you," and then just reloads the same level again. It's like, now you have to go here. I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck anymore. I played you for 10 minutes and I'm done with you. Haunted Connection, my ass.
Okay. What about Max? You got to wrap up some of our games this week. Talk.
I'm still playing Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles because, as bad as it is, my childhood best friend, who actually, like at 9 years old, got me into Final Fantasy, he's been hitting me up real hard, and he wants to get the trophies. I have to say, the game sucks. It is in really bad shape, even as a lover of that game. The soundtrack is still amazing. I have to actually complain. It has the crappiest trophies of any game.
I didn't even think of that. How Are they just hard to get, or
no? They're not fun. They're not exciting. They're all progression based. There is no platinum trophy for some reason, and most of them are. There's the optional cutscenes. When you're traveling around, you have those random like random encounters where it's like, oh, there's the Black Knight's on the road, and it's going to tell you about his memories getting lost. Literally. 80% of the trophies are see all this cutscene, see all the cutscenes involving the merchants, see all the cutscenes. Like none of them are fun. So my best friend and I were trying to do. There's a new super ultimate boss they've added to the game that was not in the original version. So we're just trying to beat that, and we're going to delete it off our hard drives. But I mean, I'm about 30 hours into it now. I mean, it still has one of the best soundtracks, and the co-op system is dumb as hell. But I mean, if you love Final Fantasy, it's the Final Fantasy.
Okay, very nice. Oh, and then Evan.
I mean, outside of the games we're going to be talking about, I just tinkered around still with Fall Guys, still doing stuff with the new Warframe stuff, and that's it. Like, not much else.
What'd you think of Fall Guys, Sean?
Fuck that game.
Okay. People can't handle it, man.
I just hit level 40.
Terrible. I
was hoping you were going to get into that.
The controls are shit. Okay, they're unresponsive. The physics are not good. Yeah, and they don't work. You're like, hey, go left, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll go left now. It's like, no, it's
sounds like you need a better controller. I don't have that.
Sounds weird. PS4 controller. We're gonna dog the standard PS4 controller. Should I get a Mad Cat?
It sounds like I'm doing better than you in that game on a Steam controller, so I think you might need to look at that.
This sounds like user error.
I played it for like an hour, and I was like, what is the point of this? It's ridiculous.
Have you tried being better?
How can you be better at a game that it doesn't require skill? You just move and jump. Like it's
no, there's skill to it.
Sean,
those games are required.
No,
I was told 2 weeks ago that there was no skill into it and that anyone could play it, and that's what made it fun.
Yeah, but
Tim the Fat Man can get a win.
That.
You can get one, Sean.
I don't want to get a win. I'm not playing that game. I'm not.
No. You bought it. You
wants to play games where he's only fighting children. It'll be fine.
I got that shit on PlayStation Network. Whatever the fuck they call it nowadays.
I'll carry you, Sean. I'll carry you to your first crown. I'll drag you across the finish line.
No.
I'm not playing it ever again. There's no point. I might delete it tonight just to prove it.
They're going to announce it on Switch for $20, and there's going to be a thumbnail of you going, my favorite game on Switch?
Hell no.
I want to see that. I want to see that thumbnail, Sean. I want to see that thumbnail face from Fall.
If it's bad on PS4, imagine it on the Switch.
I need that though. That's like legit. I need to see that.
I would buy it on Switch.
It was $20 well spent just to get your opinion.
It would be perfect
Sean.
on the Switch.
I did not spend $20. It was free on the PlayStation Network. If I would have spent $20 on it, I would have been a lot angrier.
Well, get ready to spend $20 on it because it hit Switch this holiday. I hope.
That is gonna be really funny. I hope it hits the Switch just to see what Sean does.
You have to play it if it hits Switch, Sean. That's the funny thing. You know you have to.
You have
Otherwise, it's a 200,000 views just down the drain, bro.
I'll be running there, like, hey guys, it's Max RGT85. How's it going? Subscribe to Dreamcast Guy for the best Switch content.
Because you know my video is only gonna get like 3 or 4K. So I mean, you're sorry.
I mean, if it comes down to a business decision, we will reanalyze the situation. But as it stands now,
a business decision. You're being stupid right now. You know.
As it stands now.
As it stands now, what?
Just play it and show how bad you are.
I want to play it. It's not fun.
No, you just play and show how bad you are, and then that's the video. People will laugh.
Sean got screwed over every match. He got thrown off the map. He's just upset.
And why don't? Here's another thing that I don't get. If you're like when you're playing it, you qualify or whatever. Shouldn't it be like the people who qualify ahead of other people? Shouldn't they be in the front of the line for the next event, and then the people who qualify later are in the back? Like, why is that random?
Not necessarily.
I don't think that should be random.
And also on some maps, it's actually better to be in back because you let the people ahead of you screw up, and it's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's true. Especially like on the one with the fake tiles, the people who go first usually don't complete. Yeah,
I hate that, dude. It's so whack.
I just got
once I found out that the moving tiles are guaranteed not to be real. Like, I've been going through it practically one shot. Yeah.
I just found that out, dude.
Okay.
And sometimes the lighter colored oones, the ones that are a full shade lighter than the rest, are usually solid. So usually I can zigzag pretty well.
You said sometimes.
80%.
Last time I played it, I just power leaped up to the final spot,
I did
stood
too.
there, and then just went like there and just went.
Fuck that game. I love it.
Evan, we have a Discord question.
Yeah, we got a couple. Let's go with one of these ones. This is the Metal Gear question of the week. For Halloween, which character would you want to go as?
Oh boy.
Who's the main character of Survive?
I'd go as the cardboard box.
Liquid Snake. I just want to wear a trench coat. Honestly, I just want to wear a trench coat. So Liquid Snake from Metal Gear Solid 1. So I can just be like, brother, and nothing else.
I would want to be Otacon, but I would want to be the piss variant. So I would just go with wet pants as Otacon.
I always wanted to be like Gray Fox or something like that. That was super dope, but just like carry on like a sword and like
with the ninja,
and just like freaking and like be like camo and stuff. I always thought that was super cool back in the day, especially like when Twin Snakes came out because they redid those cutscenes and he just looked so dope in Twin Snakes. So yeah, Great Fox.
This Big Boss from 3 when he just gets the eye patch. There you go.
Yeah. One of the only characters I know,
like the green camo.
RG2 would go as quiet.
Metal Gear was good.
Good one.
You guys remember when Metal Gear was good?
I never played them.
Oh yeah, those were the
good times.
I've only played Rising.
That's a good game too.
Colonel Volgan from 3.
Okay.
Just because I want to go around saying Kuwabara.
I'd go as Metal Gear Rex. Would be great.
What is this?
Hell yeah!
We have another Discord question over there, Evan.
Let's go with this one. Do you think that Halo Infinite will actually be a success with the addition of Joseph Staten? I think it's too late in the game. Like, what's he gonna do?
What's he really gonna do that's gonna make it that much better if it's coming out in 6 months or something?
So he's a shipper. Like in the movie industry, they talk about shippers, where you have a movie that's 80% done, something's really bad, you bring in a second director just to ship it. I think that's what he is. He can't change the story. He can't change the grapple hooks. At this point, he's just trying to ship it.
But he's mostly a writer and a cinematic director.
I honestly don't think it's going to be that much. I honestly think it's going to come in like, maybe make this less cringy, and then he's going to leave.
I'm not 100%. I understand why. I can't remember his name exactly. The gentleman from 343 that got Master Chief Collection fixed. I understand why he came over for the multiplayer side. That makes sense to me. But on like bringing a writer and a cinematic director in when it's almost done is strange. Unless it's not almost done and they're bringing out 2022.
I still
2022.
I have more hope for it. I do think that this will probably come holiday 2021, but the more I read interviews and stuff with the developers, I think they understood how broken it was. I think I'm slowly getting turned to the fact that this might be great. I mean, it's coming out in like 16 months minimum though, so I mean it's going to be a while.
It's going to be tough, but I mean by the time it comes out, like holiday 2021, they might just package it in some way with Game Pass with marketing on like that Series S or something for $300.
And we don't know when it's coming out. They didn't say. I mean, we're all assuming it's next holiday, but
they keep saying
right. It could be 2022. We don't know when it's coming out.
They've said 20. The community manager said 2021 so far, but that's just their PR speak. They could be like, So.
Don't you guys think it's variable based on maybe how Series X is doing?
Yeah,
like
I mean,
if things are going okay for it, maybe they'll wait. They can wait. But if things aren't going so hot, maybe they'll just say, "Hey,
because we were having a hard time figuring out what was going to come out after Halo Infinite, like which game they were talking about. What's coming after that? Wait, I don't know. State of Decay 3.
Now the answer is Halo Infinite.
Yeah, I'm not sure because Fables it might be 2023. That's gonna be a bit. So I mean, when's Initiative? When's their stuff done? Their Perfect Dark Universe game.
Dude, I'm hoping. Like it's there's so much pressure on Halo. I feel like as being a killer app once again for a new Microsoft console. Like that's immense. So I almost kind of breathed a sigh of relief when it got delayed. I was like, maybe bad for the console, but like maybe we can finally get a good 343 Halo because I have little faith, but I'm hoping.
They still have to prove themselves, and they've made a couple Halos.
Yes.
It's like how do they have to prove
They made
themselves?
a lot of Halos.
Yeah, well, they did 4 and 5.
4 or 5, and they did the remakes.
Remakes, yeah. So, yeah, but this new engine. They got to build it themselves from the ground up. So,
I mean, if the multiplayer is even half decent, I think if the multiplayer is even half decent, the fact that it's going to be free on the Xbox, I think that's going to win over 90% of people. Like, they're not going to care. Like, oh man, Master Chief is still sad about Cortanas. Like, people aren't going to care. They're just going to play the multiplayer.
But it'll be good because it'll be free on PC as well. So it should be free on both. Some cross-play thrown in there. I think they should have a pretty active community. Evan, we got another Discord question before we go into. We'll start with Tony Hawk after this.
With EA Play now available on Steam and Microsoft games releasing on there, would we think that Microsoft and Valve could come to an agreement to put Game Pass on Steam?
Oh, the problem with these subscription services is they have to figure out how Steam gets a cut of that. Because as soon as they put Game Pass on Steam, they automatically may hurt some of Steam's sales because people might just subscribe to Game Pass and not touch Steam for purchases then.
They're playing a really weird game, essentially, how they will try to build Game Pass as a platform, and yet they still play around and they say, oh, hey, PC guys, and they still put some stuff out on Steam, which then gets me excited. So it's this weird balance. I think the fact that they are at least in communique with Valve, is that the right phrase? Yeah. If at least they're talking to Valve and they do these things and they do put things on Steam, my first reaction was like, no way, ever. But now that I think about it, maybe.
It's also, it's also a 30% cut to Valve when they put some on Steam. And I have a feeling they're cutting it kind of close with Game Pass price right now. I do wonder if in the future it will eventually go up in price. But really, they just need to put their games there to advertise Game Pass anyway and themselves as a company. So put it on Steam, sell it, and then they put a Game Pass advertising in that game for their Windows Store, which is installed on your Windows PC anyway. You just click a button. So there you go. Their smart thing is that they partner with Samsung, and I have a feeling they're going to start finding xCloud into TV soon. So
it's really a good time for that too with the foldables. I mean, I'm getting the new fold phone because I hate myself. So I feel like that's going to be the first thing I do is be like, let's stream games on this thing. Like even Duo, the Microsoft Duo. I'm curious to see how they implement.
That's interesting. The 2-screen design. What would you have? I guess you put it so you have like one screen as the game. What would the bottom screen be then? You just do whatever else you want, I guess. Yeah. Interesting. Huh.
Emails.
There you go.
Yeah, emails very important.
Always.
You gotta clip that thing to a controller so it sits on top of the controller.
Yes. That's gonna be a disaster.
That would be fun. Let's go over to Tony Hawk 1 and 2 because I know Max has to be going soon. So let's at least talk about Tony Hawk 1 and 2 with you, Max. Who got it? I got it. Sean played it. Jordan played it. Okay, cool. Nate, did you play it?
No, I didn't pick it up yet.
Okay, fine. Max got like a bunch of copies, so
it's true. I got it on every system.
No, I didn't even get any. Damn.
I think they messed up. Activision sent me a physical copy and then a digital copy on every platform. Like, thank you,
because they know it's good.
Okay, so let's hear some thoughts on Tony Hawk 1 and 2. MVG, did you get it yet?
I ordered it, but it's going to be here tomorrow.
Here.
I'm not sure really what happened there, man.
I'm hearing this from everyone right now. It's not getting there till like 2 days later or something.
No, I really, really wanted to play it today and yesterday, but yeah, it's going to be here tomorrow. So
why didn't you play Avengers instead, dude? That could have.
I mean, it's either that or Flight Simulator, and you know which one I went. So
some people say that Avengers is basically just Tony Hawk in the sky.
So let's hear about what we think about Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Vicarious Visions up to bat here.
It's the best Tony Hawk game ever by far, in my opinion.
Okay,
it's amazing.
More speed. It's the tracks we love. It's the songs we love. It's the courses we love, but with extra goals. And I think the adding of extra moves was smart.
So it's significantly better than Tony Hawk Ride. I will agree with you on that. I'd say it's better than 5 as well because 5 was pretty bad. Okay, it's better than 4. And
three, because 3 was my jam.
3 is tough. 3 is tough. I think it's right there with 3 because it still has a lot of the stuff from 3.
Okay.
Really?
You guys like me. I've been thinking about it.
Yes,
I did.
Ironically, I love 3.
I loved 3.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was good.
You had 1 and 2, which were classics. 3 was kind of meh, and then 4 brought it back. Yeah.
Mechanically, mechanically is where 3 and 4 it kicks ass.
Really?
Yeah, that's
exactly. I like 3 more than 4. Really interesting.
Well,
yeah.
Also, three kind of started to introduce the idea of it almost felt more like quests instead of tapes. A lot of the goals were more like like when you grind a roller coaster and stuff. It's
2,
like
2 was the best one. 2 was the best one.
Best maps.
Okay, yeah, 2 was the best one. 3 they went to 60 frames per second though, Sean. That's like that was so fluid.
Whoa! 2X on the Xbox OG is 60 frames. That's why I really like it.
Yeah,
that came out after 3, didn't it?
No,
it didn't. I thought it
2X.
did.
No, 2X came out before 3.
Did it? Oh, okay. I thought 2X because 3 was on the N64 also.
How long do we give it before it goes on sale though? Because that's when I want to grab it.
What, Tony Hawk 1 and 2?
It'll be on sale on Black Friday.
It'll probably be on sale. I would say this
Give it
holiday.
a week. Give it 2 weeks maybe.
I mean, it's already
chat.
It's already $40.
Yeah, well, people in my chat were saying that it's already, if you go to Walmart, Walmart's putting it out for $30, so it's already $10 off if you buy a physical copy at Walmart. They're $30 apparently.
Or you can spend $10 more and get Avengers.
OJ.
No.
This
$30 because it's 60 for Avengers.
No, it's. I bought this for 50.
Oh,
It was
my
at
God.
Walmart.
So the only issue I have with 2X is
You have a
2X
physical copy. You have a physical copy.
Does 2X have a revert, MVG?
No. Yeah, there's. I think that's one of the kind of biggest omissions of the game. Does not.
The revert.
That's fine. Yeah, the revert.
The funniest thing about the game is that it has revert, and since the game is so fast, like the animations are actually sped up. I can do specials back to back. I've literally been like front flip, revert, manual, backflip.
I guess I'm not as familiar with 2X. I'll be curious to hear what you think about MVG, but the physics are different. You feel heavier in the game than you do it. Like you feel very floaty in 1 and 2. But like if you jump into this one from 1 and 2, you feel like you weigh like 100 pounds more. Your character does when you're moving around. So yeah, so you do want to, but it also lets you spin around a little faster. Like Tony Hawk when he does his 900, they have it set up so if you do it normally without like doing some crazy stuff off the top of a high ramp or something, he barely lands it. They try to fit that in. So they do a lot of things like that, which is cool. But I think Vicarious Visions did an awesome job on this game, this remake, because it is completely redone and it feels great. It looks really good too. But Jordan, what did you think over there, Jordan, of Tony Hawk?
Definitely is a Tony Hawk game, that's for sure.
So Jordan didn't seem too excited when we got on here earlier and we started talking about Tony Hawk.
Listen, the game is a Tony Hawk game. Like, it's fluid, it plays fine. It's a Tony Hawk game, but improved over the years, and obviously way better than whatever the hell 5 was. I don't know. I have any excuse.
5 was pretty.
That game was. And in all those aspects, fantastic. And I'm glad everyone's loving it, but I just can't help but the amount of times that I'm trying to enjoy it and really get into it, it just reminds me how mediocre I think the whole series is and how much I just want Skate 4 already.
Oh,
damn, man.
I don't think he's wrong, because if you were to do Tony Hawk 6 in the style of how Tony Hawk games in a Tony Hawk 1 to 2 game, would it really work?
I think they'd have to go in the direction of Underground, where there is a story and there is character development with more stats, and maybe build up like brand deals and all this stuff. Maybe you have like a little place that upgrades over time. They'd have to do more of like that, so you feel like you're progressing through something. Maybe they could do things where you have like brand deals and stuff, and they're quote unquote like guilds online kind of, where you have big brands that you're under and all of this. Like, there's a lot of things they could do with the series.
This is me not saying, like, I'm not saying the game's bad in any say. I'm saying it's mediocre for me and how I enjoy it. Because after Skate came out, that changed and that came out when I was like big into actually skateboarding in real life, and that changed how you can play and how a skateboarding game can feel. And Tony Hawk just feels like such a old version of doing that. I don't like hitting the buttons to do tricks. I like using the thumbsticks to control the tricks, and it's fine. It's just too arcadey, and I'm just not into it. It's fine. I'm playing through it.
Did you play Skater XL yet?
No,
that's the game though. That's what you're asking for.
But Skate 4 is coming. I can wait.
Skate 4 is coming in. How long do you think? Like 2 years?
2022.
And the rest.
Okay.
So I have it. I knew I remembered it. I actually have to. You're right. NVG, you're right. This is the definitive edition.
It is. It's like a director's cut of the first 2 games. It's really good.
Yeah.
Go back and check it out. I mean, look, it hasn't aged well in some areas. Like the UI is a little clunky, but overall, I like it a lot.
Well, when I get an HDMI port in my Xbox, I'll go back and check it out because I don't think that game's ever going to go backwards compatible because of the music in there.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Never happening. When we got copies of it, they were like, "Yeah, go ahead and turn the music down if you're going to be online with it."
Yeah, I streamed 1 minute of the music today, and immediately it pinged me, so I had to shut it off. Even people in my chat were like, "Kill the music!"
You can just turn it
gutsy.
Oh, really?
So we put out the before you buy. I just uploaded the before you buy today, and what I did was I kept the audio in, but I kept it super low.
Yep.
And I wanted to see if I could scoot that copyright detection, and so far so good. Not demonetized. I kind of
oh no.
We're still good. I just screwed myself.
Yeah. I mean the soundtrack is awesome. Like
really,
oh my god. They like doubled the soundtrack in this new version.
Yes, because they initially showed the soundtrack and people were like, it's missing like a lot of songs, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, all those are in there too. So
like,
it's good.
Sorry, here you go.
Yeah, I mean they kind of had to, but I think it feels really good. It runs really well, 60 frames, all of that. I think it looks very, very good. I'm playing on the Xbox. I think the PlayStation controller is the way to go. So if you have the option between the Xbox or the PlayStation, or I mean, even on PC, just plug in your PS4 controller. But I would go the PlayStation route with this one because like the Xbox Elite controller, that D-pad is not great for it. So, and then something about having to go with the triggers to do revert and stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's not great. It's for the Xbox controller. So go PlayStation.
Soundtrack is 100% great though. I'm just glad ska is back. That's all I care.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did y'all try the online of it at all?
I have not. Yes. I haven't tried the online yet. I've been mostly just working through all the challenges and everything. Is it good?
Yeah.
It's really good. It's 100% smooth. It does like this lobby system where you're kind of just thrown into a park, and then there's like you do like a 2-minute challenge of like highest score or highest combo, and there's like a 30-second wait time, so people can either leave the lobby or more people can join in. Yeah. But you can also just invite people. So what I did today on stream is I got subscribers and just kept throwing them into my park, and they were whipping my ass, and it was actually super fun. That it's super like we could theoretically do a Spawncast park and just fill up with just us.
Okay.
It's super easy too. You don't have to do anything. You just straight up on your friends list. It just says add to park. It's super streamlined.
See, now you got to get the game click so we can do that.
No, you think you just sold me, Max.
Hey, you can also there you go. We'll get Jake in. You can also make you can also build parks in the game. So they brought that back from like Tony Hawk 2 when they first introduced that. You can do
it's a little jacked up.
It is very jacked up.
It's
yeah.
So essentially when you connect stuff, like if you connect vert ramps or certain placements of grind rails, sometimes the tiles that connect things are just grindable by mistake, even if it's flat ground
so it catches
or a flat surface. So you can grind on just invisible.
I did a 2 million point trick in my video.
I saw that. Yeah.
I put up 400 ramps touching on top of each other because there's no, like, in the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, it was like Legos. You could put down pieces, but they had to obey physics. Yes. You could just put stuff through each other. So I put 400 ramps inside of each other, and I grinded. It just goes. It's like 2 million points.
And they also have character creation, so you can make your own characters, but it is super limited.
It's like
it's not good.
It's very difficult to make your character look anything like you.
It's
good for me.
Generic.
That's it.
I always felt like that was pretty decent in the game.
It's not. It was bad before. It's probably. It feels like it's worse. Honestly, I look like a meth head version of myself.
I used to make like crazy characters in the old like Underground. I was making like the Incredible Hulk and like Freddy Krueger.
Nothing like
this
that.
one you can just make me like bland boy, pale boy.
Did you say Incredible Hulk? There's another game that you can play as the Incredible Hulk.
Oh my god.
You gotta start putting hashtags sponsored. Right. Okay, about the great Square Enix experience by Crystal Dynamics.
I'm gonna say this right now. It's September 5th. I see a way for Activision to drop the microtransactions in. I'm just gonna say that now.
Oh yeah. Oh, 1,000%.
Right now,
1,000%.
They don't give you a ton of money, but like you're going through it, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, there's a lot of stuff here to buy. I wonder if they're gonna do it.
Yes,
purchasable characters, I think. more than anything too. I think they're going to be like, we put Crash Bandicoot in the game because we own him, but you have to pay for him.
I think they're gonna sell clothes for because you'll notice the licensed skaters can't wear custom clothes. They have a predetermined outfit. I think they're gonna sell outfits for Tony Hawk. I think dress them up like a Barbie.
I almost want to. What's that?
Sorry,
was that quick? Skins?
I was gonna say skins are the tried and true way to make money. So I mean, you throw in some epic skins in there.
I was almost wondering if they would throw that in there and then have the dollar amount on it, and then have you buy actual like play money dollars in there to use in their shop. So that's kind of what I'm like looking at. I'm like, I wonder if they'll try that. I kind of feel like Activision, with what they did with CTR, they might try it, because they did exactly that in CTR. They dropped the cash shop in after everyone moved on and reviewed it. So, just be wary. But Vicarious Visions, you got to do Underground next. We need Underground.
The next step is having more content, a story, interesting things going on, because that's what like a modern player base really wants. And that's
I'm kind of hoping this was like, all right, let's see if Vicarious Visions could handle a Tony Hawk game, because this is a full remake. This isn't like they just like took the old one and reskinned it on. It's like a full remake. I'm almost hoping they were like, all right, let's see if they can kind of build around it, make kind of the engine they would need and create it. And they have. So now I'm hoping Activision is like, all right, let's throw a little more money at this and let's make Underground.
That was curious to see who will make Underground, because Activision has been taking Beanox, Vicarious Visions, and Toys for Bob and just rearranging to what game they're working on. So one time they're working on Crash, now they're working on Spyro, now they're on CTR. They're just shuffling around. So it'd be surprising if Vicarious actually gets Underground to work on, and it could be Toys for Bob who makes it.
Wherever Vicarious goes, man, I'm there. Right? They know what they're doing. They're not messing around. So it's good though. I recommend people pick it up. It's $40 out now. Xbox, 100%. PlayStation, PC, probably coming to the Switch eventually. I think they'll just cut the frame rate in half, and I think it'll be fine on the Switch. So
I played them on, like, what were they on? Was that on the original PSP?
The Tony Hawk
Underground 2 on a PSP? So I could do anything.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yep. They were on PSP. They made a Game Boy Advance Tony Hawk game.
Sort of. I owned it. Sort of.
They had a Game Boy Color Tony Hawk game.
Yeah, I have that, and I played it as well. But dude, that was like
dedicated. Yeah,
I know. It was so weird of how you had to like memorize the maps in the real game to play it over there, because you couldn't see. You couldn't see where you were.
Oh, it was terrible. They had like this little field of view thing, and like the ramp was like right next to you, but you couldn't see it, so you just run into it. Yeah, it was bad. Evan, we got a Discord question over there.
Who here pre-ordered the Mario 3D collection, and was it physical or digital that you got it through?
I got it physically. I pre-ordered on Amazon, so I'm ready for it to show up a week later.
Physically?
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah, I did Best Buy physical pre-order.
Yeah. You have to do physical for this one.
I'm gonna get physical. I got it 6 months. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it sealed, and then I'm also just gonna grab it digital as well. That's my goal. So I'll leave the physical one sealed, and then I'll just play it digitally, because it's apparently it's already worth over $100 on eBay. Who would have thought? There you go.
I'm rich.
I know, scalping it for $100. Oh man, that's nice.
Glad I pre-ordered 19 copies.
Oh, it's already happening. Let's see, Evan, we have another Discord question. I'll pull up the super chats now.
Well, we have a person voicing their concern over whether or not this Mario 3D All Stars collection is kind of like Nintendo's big holiday game, since don't really
that's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be available for 6 months. It's coming out in 2 weeks. They'll sell through it as we go through the holidays. And I mean, you might see like Bravely Default 2 get a date this holiday. I could see that.
Pokemon Snap.
I think Pokemon Snaps. I think that's coming. I think that's coming first half of next year is what I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, unfortunately,
that game is so tiny. How could you not?
This one's not tiny.
Well, they also will have they'll also have Pokemon DLC this holiday. The final part 2, and apparently is bigger than the first part. So we'll see. But I you know what? It's hard to say. They announced the game 2 weeks before it comes out. Who would have thought? So you never know. I guess they could do something. But I do think they'll have at least one more third-party showcase before the year's up to drop a few things into the holiday, which Bravely Default 2 would be one of them. I don't know. Would No More Heroes 3 fit into that too? In a partner showcase?
It'd be nice.
What I mean, like with that
relationship.
Yeah, that's third party.
It was at a digital or Devolver Digital show. Like it was there at the end. You said No More Heroes 3, right?
Yeah. Could that work?
Like Suda showed it off. Oh, kind of. This had or it was like he was like posing like with the picture of it. And then what was the other show? I forgot what show it was at, but where his whole head was covering a lot of the gameplay.
It was that what's that called? I know what you're talking about. It's like it was the New Game Plus or something. I know
yes, New Game. Yeah, there you go. The New Game Plus Japan event thing or whatever. So it was there. So I'm pretty sure if he wanted to, like if Nintendo wanted to show it off at a partner showcase, that would probably be the place to do it, since he's been making cameos here and there with the game. So I think it's possible for sure, like a partner showcase, absolutely. Especially if like Shin Megami Tensei, like that game was at a partner showcase. So I mean, why could it? You know, and that's not even an exclusive. That's not even an exclusive game. That's on PS4 as well. And I think it's on no, not PC. I think it's just PS4. So that's on PS4 too. Can they just Shin Megami Tensei 3, not 5? 5 is on just.
Yeah, I wonder if they could just drop that in December. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something they could just drop into like the holiday randomly to help it out. But
No More Heroes seems like it could be that type of game, like that, like a Xenoblade or like whenever they've dropped before, like in December. So that's possible. I think Bravely Default, both of them will come out this year, but I think one of them will come out this year. I mean, I think it's either going to be like No More Heroes or Bravely Default. One of those two will come.
I can see Bravely Default dropping into it, like if it has to, first week of December, just to get it in.
Bravely Default seems just more likely, just because we've seen more. Like we've actually played Bravely Default, So
what do you think over there, Nate? You think we've seen Nintendo's holiday and that we're good to go until January with next Direct, maybe?
No.
Okay, there you go. You heard it here.
We got Bakugan.
That has nothing to do with Nintendo.
But that's coming, right? At some point.
That followed up
November.
That comes out in
Yeah,
November.
that's the big November game. Bakugan.
Yeah.
Sure, it has nothing to do with Nintendo.
Yes.
It's Bakugan though.
That's
Are you sure
way,
there's no
that's way
DLC?
forward. That's way forward.
Yeah, they're,
there's
they're
like
putting way
DLC
forward.
that no Nintendo DLC.
Great game, I heard.
Maybe there's a Smash character. There you go.
Yeah, it's Bakugan himself.
Mr. Baku.
No, it's Gino. Gino's finally coming to Smash.
Really?
Gino Whirl.
No, it's probably going to be either Travis touchdown or it's going to be Dante.
Crash Bandicoot.
Those are like the safe bets.
Or Ryu Hayabusa. You never know.
Doom Guy.
Doom Guy.
No,
every time we talk about
Fortnite. Minecraft. Steve.
Fortnite.
Puppet Steve. Puppet Steve from the hit channel on YouTube, Puppet Steve, which is ran by the Irate Gamer.
What are you talking about?
The Irate Gamer has a channel called Puppet Steve where you don't know it's the Irate Gamer, but it's totally him, and he does like Minecraft and toy stuff for kids.
Is it real? Is this a real thing? Are you serious?
Oh yeah, he's been doing it for years, and it's it's a cash cow for him. He gets like 10 million views a month on it.
Did you just out him on?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shitty kept secret.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Well, now it's not a secret at all.
Let's go over to some of the super chats here, and then we'll move into Avengers. Max, did you have to run?
Yes, I do. Real quickly, let me just say, Avengers sucks. It's not a great game. It has a lot of problems, but the story is surprisingly great. If you're interested in it and you're missing Marvel movies this year, watch. Those people that do those compilations where it's like Avengers game movie and it's all the cutscenes. Honestly, I think the cutscenes are amazingly well done, but it's a piece of shit. Thanks for hanging out and subscribing. I'll see you guys next time.
Okay, we'll get into the Mario Direct after we do Avengers.
Max clearly doesn't review enough games. He clearly doesn't review enough games to have that opinion.
Let's go. Let's go over to the super chats. Ziljan says, "Here's $5. So I got engaged last weekend. Congrats to Ziljan. Thanks for all the time me and her watched this together. Y'all are epic. Also, hey OJ.
Mistakes were made.
Hi.
And then Tijo says, do you work at Nintendo, or is Nintendo follow you to the point where they now drop directs on dates and times you predict on Newswave? They're just lucky guesses. So
my uncle works there.
Your uncle works there?
Yeah. Terrible joke. Terrible, awful joke.
RDX says, review Tech USA and Modern Vintage Gamer are calling for PS5 and Series X to be delayed. This is dumb. MVG. Why are you trying to delay my PS5 over here?
September the 5th. Where's the date? Where's the price?
Yo,
I
just want to say,
where is it?
Real quick?
Where is it?
Ever since MVG got that sexy beard, he's just become full of swag. That's all I gotta say, and I love it. I'm all for, and I'm for it. Let me just say that.
I'm following your lead there, OJ.
I think you got more swag than me, man. I like it.
So
I like it.
To the guy that donated that was going after me. Hey, there is no price. There is no date. We don't know jack about the PlayStation 5.
Let me tell you this, okay? I was looking for that podcast, MG. I'm still looking for it. at the beginning of this year, me, MVG, and Nate had a little podcast thing going here for the second channel. I didn't post it because I wasn't 100% sure on it, because he talked about some things that were going on in the background, right? And MVG stuck with it. I'll give him this. He said Halo Infinite is not coming out this year.
Yep.
And it is not coming out this. I couldn't believe it. And I went back and I'm gonna find it, because we recorded that. Was that like February?
Yeah, it was a while ago, man. It was ages ago.
So
you're hired.
MVG, keep an eye on him, man. MVG knows things over there. You never know. So I need the PS5 because the Avengers runs at 10 frames per second sometimes on PS4 Pro. So.
I don't know if the PS5 is going to save that game, but maybe it will. We'll see.
The game doesn't need saving.
Okay. Aloy says Sony has literally taken down Nintendo, Microsoft, former KOG, and $1 trillion corporation. PlayStation Bros, we can't stop winning PC games next. Aaron Joshua says expectation versus reality. If the leaks didn't happen and it just dropped suddenly, do you think it would be received better comparative to some backlash it received? Keep up the good work.
No.
I thought the Mario Direct was received well.
The Mario Direct was received well. I think they're specifically just talking about 3D All-Stars.
I thought
because you had the rumors come out in March, you had people build up an expectation in their head where you're going to get Mario 64 on the Odyssey engine and all this other stuff, and then it was shown, and it wasn't Odyssey engine Mario 64.
My take on the rumor was that Nintendo would do the bare minimum.
Well, some people thought it was going to be Odyssey engine 64 for some reason, because like, oh look, it exists in that game, and we saw Peach's Castle in Odyssey, and they're like, this is going to be this big thing, and then it wasn't that big thing, and people are like, well, maybe if the rumors didn't happen, I wouldn't have came to that expectation, because it would have just dropped out of nowhere.
I mean, maybe
I think it's a very small group.
Yeah,
who had that expectation.
Small.
Those people are watching the wrong YouTube channels. If that was the case,
I wonder.
No, Sean. They're the same people that
though.
came into my stream and came into Clickstream or came into telling John that this stuff isn't real. They're the same people that were saying.
Oh, dude, no, trust me. I was getting crucified earlier this week on Monday. Okay.
And then all of a sudden now they're upset because of whatever they thought that they. So I'm not trying to have this like stuff.
Yeah. I wonder what it's like to live a life where like my expectations are always so high and then they're always constantly
it's gotta be a horrible life, right? Like
so just broken, and then then they're miserable for however long, and then they forget about it, and then
for a week until
it
actually drops. Yeah,
and then there's like a new announcement or something, or a new rumor, and then the expectations just go straight back. Like I don't know, like maybe it's just a definition of insanity or something, but I don't know how you can live your life with your expectations so freaking high literally all the time, and it's been proven time and time again that something is not always going to meet your expectations. So I
remember back when the Switch came out and everyone was like, oh, how great would it be if we just got Mario Sunshine on the Switch? That'd be great. I'd pay $60 for that. And here it is for $60 with 2 other games that you'd want to play on the Switch, and everyone's like, what? That's the bare minimum. I'm like, what did you expect? You asked for this. You said, can we get Sunshine for years? And they give you it. Like, sure, if they upgraded it, dope. That would have been awesome. But did you really expect they could have easily charged $60 for each of these? Like, go and buy these games individually right now. It'll cost you more than $60.
Yeah,
Sunshine itself is more than the collection.
Galaxy is $20 on the Wii U, and it's cheap online. So if you want it digitally on the Wii U, Galaxy is $20.
I mean, if you bought all 3 at once. If you want all 3 games at one time, all their prices. Sunshine alone, $5. 64 still holds a decent price.
Sunshine,
I get it. You're allowed to criticize Nintendo. Like, people who can criticize it, sure. Should they do more than the bare minimum most times? Absolutely. Should there not be a limited window to purchase something? Absolutely. But
can we talk about that for a second?
You're still gonna buy it.
We're going to when we get into the Mario.
Okay.
I thought we were talking about Avengers.
We were about to. I was going.
Why aren't we talking about Avengers?
Hold on, let me get through the rest of these super chats, and then we'll go into the Avengers, okay? And then we'll get into the Mario.
No, I don't want to go through the super chats. I want to talk about Avengers now.
Console Gamer says, guest question. I guess this is for Jake then. Guest question. Do you think the next gen console prices haven't been announced yet due to an annoyingly long game of chicken, or due to a shortage of consoles or something like that?
Maybe a combination of both, because before the pandemic, we all expected the chicken, or as I call it, the price Cold War. I feel like we definitely saw something like that coming, but to the extent now, I think the extreme extent to what it is might be because of the current situation, that dang pandemic.
Yes, I'd agree with that to a degree, because I'm sure they're having a hard time getting all of the systems ready. I know Phil Spencer said software was the concern, and I guess he ended up being correct because of Halo Infinite getting pushed. But I can't imagine they're churning out as many systems as they'd like to, and those things are going to sell out immediately when they hit the market. So
yeah, the PS5 lottery thing, like, that's insane. I never would have thought to have seen that. And I mean, maybe part of it is marketing to kind of build the anticipation, but I see that as going, oh boy, they really aren't going to have a lot of these things if they're doing this kind of crazy shit stuff.
Tijo says, so are we going to talk about the elephant in the Mario 3D collection, aka Mario Sunshine, still running at 30 frames and not 60?
We're talking about Avengers.
Well, I got you, Tijo. Well, we'll bring that up. Then
I'm more mad about the aspect ratio for 64.
Oh, not being widescreen.
True.
I'm mad about the whole thing.
I think she's just mad over there. Cheesy says, hey, Spawncast crew, hope you all are good. Thanks for getting me through every week, talking all things video games. Can't thank you guys enough. You too, Jake. Need the weekly streams with the crew back. Chris says, howdy, great to see Jake here. Question for MVG. Has he played the Super Mario 64 3DS port? It's blowing my mind playing it natively without emulation on it.
Yep, I have, and when we talk about the Mario collection, I'll be sure to bring it up.
Okay. Then Iramis says, hey folks, love the gaming podcast, keep it up. Off topic, but I've really been into the DS recently. Any good unknown titles you guys can recommend?
I'm pretty sure I have a video about that.
For the DS?
For the DS.
Oh,
yes.
Plankton.
Yep, I sure do. It has a real. I gotta fix that thumbnail. Fucking sucks ass. And that says a lot from me. My PS hidden gem.
My pick is Cubic Ninja, because that's the one they used to hack the Nintendo.
I remember that because when that happened, MVG, and everyone figured it out. I remember printing out the price stickers that morning because it does updated price. It would just print out, and all of a sudden, Cubic Ninja went to like $40 from $5. And I was like, "What happened?" And I looked it up online. It's like, now it can hack, and I'm like, "Wow, even this company like knows that like you can do that." So they were ready. What any good ones other than like obviously Chrono Trigger? That's an easy one, right? Any like they have any good
Fighting Fantasy, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go with that.
That may be the worst title of a game I've ever heard.
It's a great game though, super underrated. It's hard for like the first hour until you level up your character, and then it gets a lot. I remember IGN. The reason I bought that game was strictly because IGN had did a review and they were like, this game is too hard. We got like 25% done with it. It was too much. I was like, fuck you. I'm going to prove you wrong. And so I literally bought it just for that reason. And I beat the game and I had fun. It's like, it's a first person perspective action RPG. That's kind of like, it's essentially a dungeon crawler. It's kind of like older Elder Scrolls games, but in a first person perspective.
What was it called again? Like Goblin Mountain or something?
Fighting Fantasy, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. And I remember if you bought it, if you pre-ordered it, you got like a book, because I think it's based on like a die game, and you got a book and like a die to like play. And it was sort of like Choose Your Own Adventure, where you would be like, if you roll a 1 through 4, you stab this guy. If you roll 5 through 8, he has sex with your leg, and so you would roll the dice and see what would happen next, and then would be
those are two pretty serious extremes.
Yeah, I mean, it was
leg sex, huh?
It's the Warlock of Firetop Mountain.
Haven't done that in a while. Leg sex.
Wait, I have a question. It's called Firetop Mountain. Isn't that just a volcano?
The Warlock of Firetop Mountain, and at the top
of the volcano.
They didn't know it
could just be a mountain that he lit the top on fire. Like, you don't know.
At the top of it, you have the Warlock that you have to fight. And dude, I cheesed that Warlock so bad, because I remember like he was just doing projectile attacks, and you could just like stand behind a beam, and he would just do all the projectile attacks, and none of them would hit, and then he would just pop out and like hit him a few times and go back behind the beam. It was great.
Let's go a little further here with Resume Play. Just wanted to thank you all and Scott for inspiring me to start a YouTube channel. Learned video editing and coming out of my shell.
Yay!
Yeah. Congrats.
Adrian says, Jordan, Spawncast reference in the movie.
No, I don't have control over that. This is a very serious movie, guys. Okay,
Make it nice and beefy.
None of this shenanigans.
Yeah, make it nice and beefy.
Nice and beefy. Yeah, I'll put a hidden poster in the background advertising the Spawncast Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Can it just be beefy though? Like, can it just be that instead?
Oh, they'll be beefy. I'll put beefy somewhere in the movie.
Pin on a backpack or something in the background, something like that.
Little pin.
Yeah.
Somewhere. I'll hide it in the background. No one will know.
Console Gamer says RGT 85's greatest rivals: Fall Guys and Labo.
Not wrong.
Neo says, Jake, I love seeing you here. I hope you all are doing well. Love the podcast. Starscream says the real question of the night is how much is the PS5 cake price? Q10 rumor videos from Review Tech USA. Man,
damn.
The cake.
Oh, Rich.
Did you see that PlayStation 5 cake that they had on the stream? It was the Twitch stream. They had a PlayStation 5 cake and they had an Xbox Series X cake. People thought it was real until they cut into it. So there you go. I mean, it was a good marketing push to get people to stick on the stream, so it worked. Vanessa says, speaking of Metal Gear Solid's 22nd birthday was on September 3rd. Crazy how time flies. I'm sure Konami will come out with a special edition pachinko machine for that.
There you go.
The Real Hunter says, RGC85, how do you feel about Labo integration with 2K21?
Labo integration? I would throw myself up. I don't even know what that means, but I would throw myself up.
Tesla says Tony Hawk 1 and 2, Mario 3D Collection, and Final Fantasy 7 Remake all in 1 year. What an age 12-year-old me is living in. There's some good, it's actually pretty good. Jintoki Cruz says every game at Walmart is $10 off. It is, actually. Now I'm thinking about it. Well, I think I think Tony Hawk was like 33. Like it's like a certain percentage off, but yeah, basically. Hot Boy says we need American Wasteland remaster.
No.
I think
it's a generational thing. I think I'm like too old for that, but I didn't like.
I think after Project 8, it's like. In
the first level with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 with the helicopter and all of that. If you look up, they have a poster for American Wasteland.
Yes,
a big banner. So
did you see that Thug? Is it Thug 2? The poster in game of Thug 2 is getting some controversy because they photoshopped out Bam Margera and Jesse James, and now people are like conspiracy.
I didn't see that.
What's going on?
It might be maybe they have to take it out for likenesses or something, or
it's because Bam Margera is too crazy. What is he gonna do next?
Cocaine.
You could just show up at his house and skateboard with him. It's pretty cool.
Dolo says, Nate the AI, stop being so shy.
What?
And then Dolo says, RGA 5, I agree with you, Nate is shy. Cheesy
Someone actually donated money to make those statements?
It's not bad.
Yeah, Cheesy says, quick thought, Sony is trying to snap up most third-party games for PS5, and Valve are finally making games soon. Xbox should get console exclusivity for them for Valve games. They did that with Left 4 Dead. So, Left 4 Dead 3. Jump on it. Hey, somebody, they fund it. Valve might actually get up and do it. So there you go. And those are the super chats for now. We'll come back to those. Let's go over to Marvel's Avengers. OJ's been excited for this one.
Extremely.
Just having a great time over there talking about Avengers.
It's a great game.
All right, so Avengers, the way we got to play it early is because on Tuesday they launched the deluxe edition. I think is what it was. It was like 70, and you could jump in early, which works mostly for anyone who's on YouTube making videos. Everyone just buys it. I don't know if Jake got a review code for it, but I was like, I just fine. Yeah, fine, whatever, I'll get it. And I got it on the PlayStation because that's where Spider-Man is. So you know what? It worked. There you go. Which is a shame because I hear it works better on the Xbox One X. So not only get the worst version, but they got me because of Spider-Man. So PS5 someday I'll play it on. So next year when we find out how much it is. So the Avengers game comes out and it's okay. I'm very conflicted on this game because I think the story is interesting. Like it pulls you through it. I'm like, okay, I get it. The story is here. I'm playing through it. There's some fun little twists and turns in it. You see some different sides to the characters that we all know pretty well through the movies. They're obviously stunt doubles, but it's still good enough to to get an idea as to who's who and their personalities and all of that. But like as soon as you get, what is it, like halfway through, a third of the way through, all of a sudden it turns into Destiny.
Even sooner than that.
It just started like that. The UI turns into Destiny when you're shopping for things. I'm like, this is Destiny right here. Like when you're shopping, you're going to the different factions.
You have a literal strike team.
Yes, I'm like, what? This is basically just Destiny, but they did like the Avengers stuff with it. I mean, I guess that works because people like Destiny, but it felt like it felt like they were working on this single player game with like co-op maybe thrown into it for fun, for like everyone could be an Avenger and you guys just go through. And then like halfway through, the suits came in. They're like, no, this has to be live services because we need it to make money. So we need it to make money over time to make sense for these licenses. So how do we do that? And they were like, well, there's Destiny. It works. Let's just start throwing in the live service stuff right now.
The problem though, I've been joking around, guys. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been joking around in terms of like, this game sucks. Like, I'm an Avengers fan.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. People will chat, OJ, this game's not good. Listen, the game's not good. No, it's not. It's not very good at all. There's multiple problems. It's glitchy. It's glitchy.
It needed at least 2 more years in the development oven.
Yeah, it's glitchy. I mean, I have a video of me running with Hulk, and I'm just like running into like nothing. There's just like a platform, and I'm just running, and it won't let me, and I have to jump over it. You get stuck on stuff a lot at times.
Yes.
When you jump over things with Hulk, or when you jump on certain things, it feels okay at sometimes, but then other times it doesn't. Another problem with the game is that sometimes it just doesn't like load up the war table, at least for me. Like the first time that I went into the war table, it just didn't load it. And I was just sitting there scrolling. So that's just maybe like a really odd glitch, but if I'm having issues like that, there's probably other issues that people are dealing with.
Swinging with Kamala is kind of weird too sometimes. So sometimes you just like, she won't actually grab onto it, or like the icon will never show up for me and I just fall. And then, dude, if you die in the game, the load screen,
the loading times, they're not the worst time, but they're definitely long. They're not short. And on top of that, with Avengers, the game just feels delayed. When you press a button, the combos it doesn't feel good to pull off combos. It feels good to get like the hits and the impact, and there's all the window dressing of a good sandwich. But then when you bite into it, you're like, damn, that's plain. And that's not it just doesn't feel great to pull off combos. Where in Destiny, when you shoot people, it feels a bit better. I think out of all the heroes, probably Iron Man probably feels a bit of the best because it feels like a Mass Effect style game, with you shooting him. The flying feels good. But the combos with Hulk feel slow and sluggish, feels unresponsive. Kamala feels a little bit better. Black Widow feels a little bit better. But when you play Black Widow, it's like, damn, this is just a really shitty version of Bayonetta. Like a really crappy version of playing the game Bayonetta. So it's just like, the game needed more time. The responsiveness is bad, even if it's 30 frames. Sometimes.
Well, apparently
performance mode. It's like, why is there performance mode?
I don't know.
The performance mode is still.
Apparently next gen on the PS5, because if we already have it now, we're just gonna get an upgrade to the next gen. Apparently they'll hit 60 frames of the PS5 and the Series X. So maybe that will help with some of the responsiveness issues, because obviously a higher frame rate, it'll feel better when you're moving around and all this. But that glitchiness that we're talking about right now kind of makes me think that it really was a game that was halfway through development, where they had this single player co-op multiplayer game thing in mind, and everything just got dumped in for life. It really feels like that, especially with how glitchy it is. What'd you think of it, Jake, when you were playing through it?
The biggest thing for me, and it was the case when we had first seen it, and when I got to like check it out at, what was it, like E3 or a PAX or whatever, it was like, whoa, they spent a ton of money on the intro sequence. And the intro sequence is the most incredible thing when you're the Hulk on the bridge and the bridge is collapsing and there's all these
like never like that again.
It doesn't quite match that. The story does. The cutscenes do, but nothing else. It kind of like really bummed me out. I it's not like I kind of get defensive when people are like, oh, this is Anthem all over again, and I say, hold on.
It's not Anthem.
Relax.
It's not Anthem.
Not Anthem.
Not as bad as Anthem.
But it's still.
That shouldn't be like the bar. All right, is it Anthem? It's not Anthem bad. All right, we're good.
Yeah, but it's still disappointing. It's still really disappointing. I went out of my way to make a video just talking about the story, because I thought the story, I was like, oh, people gave a damn here, and they really tried to tell a cool little thing. And I love that, but playing it, I did not have a good time.
I liked Kamala Khan as like the main character for the most part. I actually liked that a lot. She was very good in the game for what she was doing, her position in the story and all of that. And then, like I said, she's going around getting all the Avengers back together, and you see different sides to the Avengers because they're all obviously defeated at the beginning. We all played that in the beta. So I like that side of the story, but like it just never, like, once you get to a certain point, it felt like that live services game, and it kind of detached me from the story a bit. So
it affects the mission design 100%.
Yeah, like go into a place. Here's the area where you go. You're gonna fight a bunch of waves of enemies. You're gonna collect some resources. You're gonna go back to your ship, and then like rinse and repeat in different areas. Like it has that Destiny type of feel to it, which that sucks. It would have been better if they would have not done that, but I understand why they did, because this game probably cost.
It costs a lot of money, yeah.
Yeah, this game costs so much money, but it's just unfortunate, the structure of the game and how they decided to do it, and they didn't spend a bit more time refining the controls, considering there's only 6 heroes at the, there's only
but like everything there's gonna be a lot though, because they data mined it, and they find like 17 characters or something like that.
Yeah, but over the course of a long time.
It's gonna be
it's gonna be a long time. Like I said, the only character that feels like it was really, I mean, like I said, Iron Man is fun to play as. I think he's somewhat fun to play as, because you can fly and you can shoot, so that's fun.
I think this is going to be a game that'll be much better in like 2 years, and everyone comes back to it, and we're like, wow, this is a lot better. But it's one of those games that just came out too early because they had to get it out, I assume. And they'll just build on it, and we'll come back to it in like 2 years when the game's $10 and we tell everyone to buy it.
It'll be much better.
It.
It'll be much better later.
So it's a shame, because the voice acting I think is good. Right. I think the motion capture, all that stuff for the cutscenes are good. And when we're playing in the beta, they let you play in the beginning, let you play as all the characters, and all the characters felt different. So
they do.
Everything is there for a good game overall, but man, when those live service things kicked in, it's so noticeable. That's the problem. They didn't, I guess, intertwine it very well with the gameplay in the game itself. So it's
and to be fair, it's probably a nightmare trying to put together a game like this, with making all these heroes different and different gameplay mechanics and different types of stuff, and we have to have the graphics that look like this because it's AAA. Like, it's probably a nightmare.
These are heroes we've seen for so long at this point. Like, if they were new and unique characters, I could see where that would be kind of like trying to figure out their kits and everything, but I feel like it'd be more tough to figure out how to put arms into Smash than it would be to figure out how Hulk's gonna attack slow but actually do more damage versus punching someone like 7 times to finally kill him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it shouldn't be that difficult for these characters.
There really hasn't been a good Iron Man game though, right? Like, there really aren't any like good things to go off of.
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, even then he's still punching people. Like, I feel like his basic attack shouldn't be punching. No, like he's actually like, I'm watching people play with him and like punch with him.
But that's the thing that makes his character interesting
things
in the game. Like, I don't want to like defend it at all, but his is the only character that really regens the energy to use weapons from range without having to punch things.
Yeah, that is true.
So like he does focus more on ranged attacks. Hulk has more grappling potential and is a better tank, kind of making the reason he's slow like a thing. There's a good game
more powerful
in there,
then, maybe?
but it's definitely like behind a wall of shit, and it should have come out 2 years later. Nate's in a car.
I feel like it's ambitious as hell. The problem is that it's trying to have its cake and eat it too. That's the phrase, right? So it's like, they're trying to give you like a cohesive single player experience, a full story that you play through from beginning to end. They also want you to keep playing. They want you to do the Destiny style stuff. They also want you to just happen to do cooperative throughout this story. And then they want an end game because they've seen so many of these other games have a solid end game, and they're like, we got to do that too. So it's just so much. And I think a Avengers game didn't need to even be in the position to buckle under all of that type of pressure.
You know what might have been better is if they separated the single player and the multiplayer completely. Like think of like Grand Theft Auto, how they do like their GTA 4 or 5 and they have GTA Online. If they like separate it, they just did their a standard, let's say 10-hour story with the Avengers. It's super high polished. It's good. It's sure it's linear somewhat, right? But it's a story and it's fun to play through. It's solid, right? It's not like glitchy or anything. And then they're like, okay, and then we have this multiplayer mode where you make your own character because you're part of the Inhumans or something, and you got your powers on 8A and all this stuff, and then you just go into it and you do all the strike missions together and you build up your gear and all of that.
And they launched it later when they had maybe you wait a little bit of time.
Sure. Yeah, like that, I think would have been a better way to go about it. But I mean, that's where they are now.
I will say this. Here's the good thing about the game. I think one of the best things is that at Walmart, I got these pins or these badges, and there's a bunch of different ones here. Look, you use Captain America.
What?
And then there's more. It's all the Avengers They're all there in this nice little bit.
We're gonna have to send an email to Metacritic, make sure they get that score right then.
Yeah, you know what? I was about to give it a 5, but now I will give it higher than that. I don't know exactly where, but with these, it is now a better game.
So I have a feeling this game. I'll be honest. I think by like the end of this year, this game will be cheaper. I think they'll mark it down. But I think initially it will sell. Like I think we'll probably hear that it was like the best selling in the U.S. for September. So
that's gonna sell.
Yeah, I think it'll do fine.
I haven't really gotten a gauge on, because like this is the type of game I feel like will appear to more mainstream casual gamers. But like with the whole like pandemic thing, especially in New York, I'm not exactly like out and about and like talking to folks. And I feel like that's where you get a good gauge on like this type of game where it's like, hey, you like the movies with the Tony Stark, it's great. And then they go and buy the game because they're like, Tony Stark's in that game. But
yeah.
I don't know if they're out there necessarily. I don't know if this is appealing to casual audiences, considering some of the earlier attention, the negative attention maybe has bled over to mainstream audiences. I don't know. It's a big question mark, this game.
Let's Evan, you want to go to another Discord question?
I've been trying to decipher this one since we started, so I'm just going to read it and we'll see where this goes. With extra cost of upgraded next-gen versions of games, what is the difference between the next-gen version of a game and getting a current-gen and popping it into a backwards-compatible next-gen console? Like playing a PS4 game on a PS5 versus playing a PS5 version of that game on PS5.
Well, Control already defined that by saying if you don't buy the Ultimate Edition and you already have the game, it will still work backwards compatible, but you won't get all of the new features that they design in through a patch. You have to buy it. So essentially you're buying the patch from them, but they said you can still pop it in. It'll work. You just won't get all the features. I think Call of Duty is doing the same thing. They were all over the place with that. It was like if you take an Xbox One disc and pop it into Series X, it'll work, but it won't be the next gen one. You can also take that same disc and pop it into the Xbox One, but it won't work that way for the PlayStation. It's all over the place.
There will be some things that even without the next gen version that will work better. So there is some stuff developers have said that, like for example, Cyberpunk, if you take the PS4 disc and pop it into the PS5, it'll still run a little bit better, look better, but it's not the next gen version. That's coming out later, and that will be a free upgrade for everybody. So
it's being handled differently by different companies. Yeah. I think CD Projekt Red's handling their stuff perfectly.
Well, that's the best, because Witcher fans get the next gen version of Witcher for free if you've already bought it. So yes.
Hold on, what about something like Ghost of Tsushima? Right, we know that's going to run on PS5, but what is that going to be? Is that just going to be a straight one-to-one
I'd like to
parity
think
with the PS4, or are they going to beef it up to something more appropriate?
I'd like to think that because it's Sony's game, it's their first party game, that they'll be like, well, we'll keep selling this over the next 4 years or something crazy until there's an inevitable sequel or something, and they'll go back and they'll sell it again basically on the PS5 shop as like a PS5 game. So I'd like to think that means that if you already own it, you pop it in and you'll get the 60 frames per second mode. Maybe, you know what, that might be a game where they leave the resolution even down and they give you an option for 120 frames per second mode. That'll be pretty cool. So there's a lot of things they could do because of the timing and all of that in that game. I think it'd benefit from the high frame rate. But I think first party games will get those benefits because they'll look to resell them with PS5 marketing.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. I think they will do it though. Evan, we have another Discord question over there.
The next two are kind of related to each other, and it's more about the Nvidia stuff. So I don't know if we wanted to hold off until we did the Nvidia part.
Oh, okay, yes. Is that the last Discord question then?
Two, but they're basically the same question.
Oh, okay, great. So we can then move into the Mario Direct. Mario 35th Anniversary Direct took place shockingly. No one saw this coming. Happened on Thursday, right, Nate?
Yes.
No one saw it coming.
No, it came out of nowhere.
Nowhere. Nope. No one.
No one. Impossible to guess.
Yeah, impossible. So we want to go over the announcements here. Then we can talk about what we thought about all of this. And yes, we can talk about the 3D All-Stars collection. Everyone wants to talk about that. The Game & Watch, Super Mario Bros. It's something I will attempt to get and probably not be able to because they'll probably make 5 of them and put them on Amazon.
Yeah, what's really frustrating about that is you can get it over in the UK, you can pre-order them, but over here because of FCC, they're still waiting for the approvals. Yep. They haven't opened up the pre-orders yet. So yeah, I think that's going to sell out in literally minutes when that goes on sale.
$49.99 has Mario Bros. 1 Lost Levels, and it's also a clock that looks like a Game & Watch. November 13th. So I will attempt to pre-order it and get it. We'll see how that goes. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Some extra content that we don't know what it is yet. They're going to tell us later. So we'll wait for that. I guess closer to release, because it's not coming out till February, but we did talk about how this would probably end up into next year. I believe it was originally planned. You think so too, Nate, for this year? I think it was originally planned for this year. Yeah, okay.
It was originally planned for this year, and you can tell that it was when Pikmin 3 got dated for October. That would have been the original slot for 3D World and Bowser's Fury. Once that game had to be pushed to 2021, they placed Pikmin 3 to replace it.
Yes, so that would have been my thought too. But that's next year, and you know what? It looks like there's a lot going into Super Mario 3D World, which is good because that was a very good game on the Wii U. So I'm happy to see them put some effort into it and do all new content. It also looks like some of the game speed or maybe even physics are different.
Yes, they changed this. Game speed is sped up. It looks like it's about 1.25 times faster than the original Wii U game. So now Mario will run at a better clip of speed. And they put a lot of work into that release with the new, what looks like a whole new campaign, online co-op, and the faster pacing. I mean, that's a lot of new content. So it's basically a brand new release, even for double dippers who played it on the Wii U. So there's a lot to, enjoy on this game when it comes out next year.
Yeah. Super Mario Bros. 35, which is a really cool concept. It's almost like a Mario Battle Royale looking thing where you're going through and you're sending enemies to each other and you're speeding up their screen and you're doing all this stuff to wipe them out.
It's like that Tetris battle one.
Tetris 99. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, even before that, wasn't there like a Puyo Puyo or something that did that?
There might have been a Puyo
literally
Puyo.
Looks like Tetris 99.
Puyo Puyo Tetris on the Switch.
Well, there was one of the titles where it was the Bean Machine, I think. John,
Bean Machine. That's where you could have up to 8 people, I think, on one screen. I know you're talking about, Evan. That was this was even before. I think it was even before the Switch. It was I don't know if that was online. That might have been just local only. Anyway, Super Mario Bros. 35. You're right. Click. It does look just like Tetris 99 because they have like the lines going and like
literally the special attacks and everything. Yep.
It's made by the same people.
That makes sense. Okay. October 1st, though, and this is going to be online for the Nintendo Online service. This is one of those weird situations, though, where it's leaving at the end of March, which is strange, unless they're going to sell it.
Concept is cool. A concept as cool as this should not leave.
What they need to do is
sell it.
They have to rebrand it. I think they have to rebrand it because it's Mario 35, so it's kind of being marketed for the 35th anniversary. So make it Mario 64, increase the player account. Or Mario 128, do a nice callback to the original Mario 128, prototype from Space World, callback to, Nintendo's history, and have 128 players playing at the same time. Or if the game somehow tanks it in the 6 months of availability and no one plays it, then you just, you brush it out and say, going timed.
I think this is going to be super popular.
It probably will be, and it would be foolish if they actually cut it off at the end of March of next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, he came back on camera and he's just like absolutely dominating it. I was so confused.
Just destroying.
I thought it was a sandwich, but then I saw him flopping around like that's just a slice of bread.
Is it just Wonder Bread or?
You didn't even
toast it. It's Sara Lee honey wheat bread.
Ah, okay.
Oh, it sounds like the super soft bread. Wow. Yeah.
It's honey built in. Nice.
I used Instacart for the first time this week to get groceries.
Was it good?
My friend was busy. It wasn't bad. Like, it's really weird.
What's going on here?
You like put your stuff, what you want to buy, and then like when they go to the store, like if they don't have it, like they offer you a suggestion. You're like, oh, this is sold out.
What's up? You want this instead?
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, this is tight. And yeah, the lady got all my shit. It was cheap too. I love Instacart's legit, dude.
Okay,
yes.
All right,
Mario.
You're such a bachelor, dude.
I mean, it's not bad. Yeah, some people I guess shop for you right now. So there you go.
I just hate go to the grocery store. It's like a maze. You have to try and find everything. You got to walk from one side of the store to the other. It's like 10 million miles.
Read signs.
Man, can't figure out a grocery store. Definitely can't play Fall Guys.
I don't have time for that shit.
It's really not that bad. I go to Walmart and
on top of the aisles, that it tells you what's in the aisle, so that's how you know if you need to go down that aisle. You don't have to walk down every aisle because you think you have to. You
gotta
read like this the entire
slices. Like the bread aisle is bread.
Go to Walmart, Sean. It's actually pretty easy to shop at Walmart.
You're not going to Walmart. Oh, it's crazy people there.
Absolutely not.
People at Walmart.
They have the games are $10 off there, Sean.
Dude,
I mean, I'll go there for like arcade one-ups and video games. I'm not grocery shopping there.
I
That's
grocery
too much.
shop and I get Avengers there. It's great.
Okay, we also had Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, which is basically like RC cars with augmented reality cameras on them, and they communicate with their Switch, and you drive around your house in them. It looked pretty cool.
I'm not going to lie. I was a child that was obsessed with remote control cars. Like, it was like a thing in my neighborhood. You don't understand. Like, all of us, some of us had gas powered ones. Other of us had like the more like street, like the Dodge Viper ones. My parents bought that for me. And that was like my Christmas present for 2 years in a row. Cause like, we're not spending any more money on you, child. I had that thing for so long. I would love this so much as a kid. And the fact that you can like play with multiple people and you can like set the course. I'm wondering if there's like a limit on the course or whatever. Like if there's like a certain like distance you can have the cars travel, if it'll like limit you. Dude, I think it's so cool. It's so unique. Yeah. Oh, that'd be so much fun.
That's coming out October 16th. So that's out in just over a month. $100 for the whole kit. And Super Mario All-Stars did hit the Switch. I checked it out. It's Mario All-Stars. Definitely is. Still fun. People should try it if you have the online service. That has Mario 1, Lost Levels, Mario 2, Mario 3. But the big announcement that everyone was really excited for, trended all over Twitter, was created a lot of conversation, that's for sure. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. It has Galaxy, Mario 64, and Mario Sunshine all in one pack.
No, they didn't announce it. The whole thing was fake. Everyone who was talking about it was a liar and burns in hell.
Mm-hmm. It's $60 and it's out in 2 weeks.
September 18th.
It's just out in 2 weeks. It's like, that is the closest I've ever seen a retail release of that magnitude get announced.
It's because it's limited.
But like that's insane to come out 2 months and 2 weeks and it's coming to retail.
You know why they did that, right? They actually, I bet you, no, I'm not being serious, but they had a direct. Everybody was complaining about there not being a direct. So they're like, you know what? We're just going to throw all these other directs separately. And then we're going to announce Mario by itself, completely separate, 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Screw you guys.
No Galaxy 2, just Sunshine 64. Eventually. Hey, Nate, did you notice the marketing on this game? Did you notice the cover? Did you see which game is front and center on that cover?
That's because it came out in the middle. It's the middle
it came
release.
out in the middle.
I mean, coincidence? I don't know.
Yes, it is.
But wouldn't it look weird as hell if Sunshine was before 64 and Sunshine came out after 64? Wouldn't that look weird?
Sunshine on the right. It's cool. It's cool.
But did you also notice how pissed off he looks on the Sunshine?
Yeah, even he. No, you know what?
Attitude.
He looked epic.
Nintendo themselves. You go to the website, they talk about like all the firsts for the games. And you get to Sunshine, they're like, you can ride Yoshi.
Wait a minute,
introduced Bowser Jr. We actually don't have anything good to say about this game. It has water.
Let me ask you a question, Nate. Let me ask you a question. If you went on vacation and that shit happened to you on vacation, you'd be pissed off too. If you go on vacation and all that happens, come on.
I get back on the plane and leave.
Get back on the plane.
I would be mad as hell if I'm in Hawaii.
I'd say, no, I'm not cleaning this shit up. I'm leaving this shitty resort.
No.
You got these weird pinata-looking things that
with your attitude
evolved into demons.
You and that Mario on the cover are exactly the same. You have a piss poor attitude about things. You're too salty about this stuff.
Nate is chaotic neutral.
I'd be upset if somebody did that to me on vacation. I'd be like, dude, this is...
Yeah, you land your plane, all of a sudden there's just sludge everywhere and you gotta clean it up?
Yeah.
Sucks. I'd be mad.
Sounds like Far Festival, dude.
Luigi,
It's like that. No,
Yeah, he's trying to go to a hotel and he's like, hey, there's ghosts here. Go figure it out. I'm like, all right, great.
Yeah, and he's like,
There was an episode of the
Simpsons
Simpsons that was like that.
What's supposed to do with this ghost dog now? He doesn't eat anything. He's a ghost.
So we this is also a limited release. It will be discontinued at the end of March, which happens to be the end of their fiscal year, March 31st. Digital and physical are both going out the window, which caused quite a stir online.
Yeah,
a lot of confusion around this one.
Can I
speak to him?
You guys seem upset. Why are we upset the fact that something's limited? Because me personally, I love when things are limited because it's like if you didn't get it, you didn't get it.
I think
later on,
I think it's anti-consumer. It's anti-consumer. I mean, no, let's be real here.
If they bring them out later
let's
on.
Be real. Okay, right now they haven't announced any plans to bring them out later on. So let's be real. If EA came out tomorrow and they said Mass Effect Remastered is going to be available October to March at retail and digital, and then at the end of March they were pulling the copies from their digital services, there'd be no more retail copies. People would be saying, EA, you're so evil. Fuck you, EA. But Nintendo doesn't. People are like, it's okay. It's okay. It's limited. There's no reason. It's a limited digital release. Yeah, there's no reason it should be pulled from the eShop.
The digital portion is the portion that I think is the problem.
Yeah, retail, fine. Retail, fine. Digital is bullshit.
No. You seriously mean to tell me that you think they're going to pull these games and then they're just not? You're not going to be able to buy them after that. That's seriously what you think.
Right now, they have not said they are going to release them as individual releases. So right now, based on their words, this collection is done March 31st.
I think they're going to add
35th anniversary celebration collection. Yes, because next year is not going to be the 35th celebration.
I personally think that's a stupid thing to get mad about if it's readily available for everybody to go pre-order.
If it was limited amount, maybe I'd understand that.
I buy a Switch. Wait, hold on. Let's say I want to buy my nephew a Switch next July. He can't play 3D All-Stars because Nintendo said fuck
buy his ass one right now.
We can't
afford it. Well, here's the issue. They're doing this in the middle of a very unstable time for people when it comes to finances.
Okay, but we're fine totally buying the PlayStation and the Xbox. All of a sudden, the game we're not
no,
okay
because
with
they're limited.
Well, they can wait till next holiday.
PS5 is gonna be selling out, dude. Let's be honest.
Oh no, it's gonna sell out.
It's still not be limited. People be fighting for that.
Yeah.
Come March, I'll still be able to buy it though.
Maybe if you're lucky.
I think it's not great timing on their part to do something like this.
Everyone's mad for somebody else. Everyone here is I'm angry. I'm angry. Oh, by the way, I pre-ordered 3 copies of it. Like everyone's mad for some future somebody that they don't know. If I have a cousin's brother's uncle's sister that I wanted to buy it in 2019, everyone's mad for somebody else. Yeah, everybody here pre-ordered the game. Come on, dude. Yeah, y'all first worlds be finding ways to get angry about everything. Like seriously, like EA Mass Effect. That's a stupid example because Mass Effect is Mass Effect. It ain't Mario, and it's not limited. It's freaking Mass Effect. And if they wanted to do something special and make a limited Mass Effect, which only you can get it for this time period, people would be fine with that because they do that shit all the time. There's limited everything. There's limited systems. There's limited games. There's limited special editions. There's limited babies in a jar.
But
there's limited everything.
But the limited games don't just go away. That's the thing. You can't name a single game that was released and then said, "Oh, you can only buy this for a few months," and then it goes away forever. That doesn't count. That was because of licensing. That was licensing stuff. I'm talking about a real game that doesn't have licensing issues. Not stuff like X-Men. Not stuff like WrestleFest. I'm talking about games that are created. That would be like if they did that with The Last of Us 2. Would people be okay with that? No, I don't think so. Done that. I think it's a very valid point.
When's the last time that Nintendo's had a collection like this? Someone said it was on Wii.
Yes, 25 years ago, and physically, it was limited physical, not. Oh my!
It wasn't on digital. The game there was no digital storefront. It was on the virtual
console. There's no reason they can't offer this as a digital release.
Because somebody does something because they're going to release it. They're going to
It did it on the Wii. It doesn't excuse it now. And then people say, "Oh, Metroid Prime Trilogy thing. Oh, look, that was limited. I can play Metroid Prime 1 and 2 via backwards compatibility on my Wii, and I could buy Corruption on the Wii. I cannot buy these 3 games on the Switch any other way other than this collection as of this moment. This is a bullshit practice, and Nintendo should be raked across the coals for this. Excusing this behavior is nonsense. This is a trash practice by Nintendo.
It's smart
for no reason, bro.
I think it's smart.
I think like physically, I get they might have been like, oh, we'll do this really cool special edition physical thing, and then we'll discontinue it at the end of March. That's fine. And then it's still up digitally. I'd be like, all right, whatever, that's fine. It's a collector's item. The digital delisting tells me that Mario 64 is going to the online service next year when they launch N64, and they'll repackage Galaxy with Galaxy 2 at some point.
So should we be angry right now and then later not be angry, or should we just be angry right now?
I'm just angry all the time.
Always be angry. Always.
So if they do that later, which they're probably going to do.
It's not even necessarily about being angry. It's just about disagreeing with it. I'm not angry.
Nate sounds pretty angry.
That's like a terrible business practice, and it shouldn't be swept away saying, Well, they might release it later. So if Mario 64 comes to the Switch next holiday, and it costs $50 in the state that we're seeing in the collection, they're saying, well, that's okay, because, you know, we could have got it for 60, but Nintendo said, well, you can't buy it anymore, fuckers. Now you're going to give us more money, because fuck you. How's that good? How's that good for the consumer?
Limited. Yeah, we're all ignoring the real question here. Okay, if they do that, what are they going to do with Sunshine? Okay, so that's what we're going to be worried about.
Sequel.
What are they going to do with it? Make
the Galaxy.
Jordan's thinking here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I do that sometimes. Not a lot though.
Here's the fun part. 3D Collection's already over $100 on eBay. It'll probably jump higher than that even. I don't get it because you can pre-order it still, but that was going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, I agree with Nate, although I'm probably not as animated as he is, but I agree. I mean, this is a freaking COVID year, right? Nintendo needs to think about what they're doing here. There are people that have lost their jobs. There is millions of people out of work right now. You know, there's people that want to get this game for their kids for Christmas. And I mean, look, right now you can get it on Amazon. I'm not disputing that, but eventually you won't be able to get this. It's going to sell out. And, you know, Nintendo really needs to think about, you know, the landscape that they're in right now. And I don't really agree with what they're doing, honestly.
I hope they stock a lot of them. Like, if they're just going to do it for 6 months, I hope it's just a ton of stock. Because
they'd have to.
If this thing is sold out, like, in October.
Well, that's going to go horribly for them. Yeah.
Well, I agree with that. Like, I'm not saying that they, like, if it's sold out and then there's, like, no more copies, then I 100% change my, like, I'm upset with that. But you
can still buy it digitally, so what does it matter?
Well, physical. Some people want it physical, right? Like a physical copy.
Well, I was told that
it's limited. I thought limited was okay.
Yeah, limited's good. Remember, we like limited.
It's 6 months. It's 6 months. You get something to where you can buy it. So I'm not going to be upset if I can buy something within that time period. You have plenty of time to buy. If you can't afford it now, you can afford it next year all the way. You have 6 months to buy something.
Also, this logo's off center on the cartridge. I heard people were mad.
It always is. That's so annoying. They're the same question. Sword and Shield.
Yeah. So my concern is always like video game preservation perspective. So,
this collection is in trouble.
What if there is some tweak or some interesting thing that they do with this collection that then is
you mean for like people who might speed run or something, and they're like, wow, okay, there's a big deal with this. You know what, that could be actually, because that
was my first concern.
It's produced by Nintendo, so it'd be because it's produced by Nintendo, it's considered official, right? Official release. So, like, let's say Sunshine, because it's widescreen and it's officially from Nintendo. I guess for like speedrunners, they'd say, "Oh, it's an official release, and we're going to speedrun it, and that'll be a category." Like 10 years from now, 15 years from now, these things could be hundreds of dollars to get a hold of just to try to do these speedruns or something.
But it's okay because they had 6 months to buy it, so fuck them.
I am a little confused because, like, if you think about it from a brand standpoint and marketing, like, if you make things exclusive, it's gonna make them sell. Now, if they're limited and people are gonna run out of it, I understand. But you think of brands like even the freaking stupid brand Supreme, like, they literally, you have to put your life on the line to even get considered for a raffle, and people will literally eat that stuff up. You're not even guaranteed that you're going to get some of their products.
Yeah.
The fact that, I mean, I'm not like saying it's the best way, but I'm saying people do like the fact that they have something exclusive. The people who didn't jump on it or didn't see the value in it didn't get it. A lot of people, you know, like talked about how they wish they'd bought a GameCube just for the Zelda Collector's Edition when it came out all the time ago. And I got it by like accident, because that was like my mom didn't know what she was buying. And like now it's like something that I hold near and dear to my heart.
Also, how are you gonna release this limited edition and not put a manual or an art book in there?
You should be more upset about
that. Come on. What's going on here?
I mean,
what the
that'd be
fuck,
nice.
man?
They took a massive step back from that Wii special. That thing was
how do you release a 35th anniversary collection and put no developer diaries, no artwork, no specials in the bundle itself? It's a bare bones package. Bullshit. The only thing that's 35th about this is the badge on the cover.
Maybe it's on the cartridge though. Maybe like, because we haven't seen the UI or anything. Maybe there's a full menu and like there's like a whole like vault.
Well, they did the music. They did the music.
It's the music.
Yeah.
It's everything. I think it's everything we saw in the direct. It's the music.
No, I bet you
extra.
I bet you there's some stuff.
I love listening
making
to music.
a Blu-ray or something. Be good.
I would like to think they have something extra, but I don't know. I think Nintendo Minute actually opened it, so maybe.
I mean, in like the cartridge.
Maybe on their video they show it. Oh,
the file size is 4.8 gigabytes.
Yeah.
What could be possibly a fit on there?
So that's like a gig for the games and 3 for the making of. Good.
Art book
the
stuff.
sequel.
I don't think there's any art book. I think it's literally what we said. It's the music and the 3 games, and that's a 35th anniversary celebration for those games. It's a bare bones package.
It's still good value. Like looking at it, those three 3D Mario games are very good.
The problem with this, it's 3 quality games. Or 2 quality games in Sunshine.
Finally admit Sunshine's quality.
No. God damn it. 2 quality games in Sunshine.
Too late.
And it just feels like they said, well,
we got that on tape.
So cool. We HD'd them. We gave widescreen support to Sunshine. Galaxy
has widescreen support, right? Yeah.
And I mean, we have a little concern based on the information they have put out there that Galaxy, you have to use the touchscreen when playing in handheld mode to control the pointer. That could be kind of a pain in the ass.
I didn't see any issues with Sunshine. Sunshine looks solid.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sunshine's the issue with Sunshine.
How's the analog trigger going to work with that though? With Flood, they don't have that.
I think somebody was saying online they've assigned it to the triggers. Like one's half, one's full.
It just keeps getting better.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I thought it was fluid.
Fluid.
I am fluid.
Maybe in Germany or something.
What everyone think about the direct overall though?
It was enjoyable. It was good direct.
I thought it was a very good direct. Yeah, I think for the most part there was a little bit of everything. I'd say for everyone there. Yeah, got something I'll attempt to buy with the Game & Watch that I probably won't get, and then something I will get with the collection. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I think they'll still do some sort of partner showcase or something to wrap up the year to fill in like November to a bit. Maybe a Pokemon Direct will happen too to show off the DLC, and then maybe they'll talk about Pokemon Snap and date it for like I don't know February or March, and that might be it. But I liked the Direct. I thought it was fun.
No, the Direct was good. I mean, there's a lot of quality content in it. I'm just still baffled by some of the decisions they made with the 3D All-Stars collection itself. It was a weird way for Nintendo to approach it. I mean, let's look at the 25th anniversary. They had the art book. They put all these bonuses and extras. Look at the Kirby 25th anniversary. They put all these extras in it. Then this one came out, and we gave you 3 games, and you can listen to the music. Fuck you.
I feel like the year of Luigi got more respect than Mario's 35th anniversary. Like,
yes, I think it's
Luigi got a year. He didn't get just 6 months. He got a full year. Yeah.
And I think it's sad that of the games being featured as far as like the 35th anniversary going to the end of March, the one title that got the most attention and the most work done to it is 3D World.
Yeah, that's a good game though.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that though? Getting a lot of attention towards 3D World. That's a great game.
Because it's a collection of 3D. Here's a collection of 3 games labeled as All Stars, and we HD'd them, made one widescreen, and that's it.
They probably just see it as value. It's like, hey, there's 3 good games here, so we're good.
I don't really know why they didn't 16:9 and widescreen Mario 64.
Yeah,
at least make it parity with the homebrew version. Actually. That is strange. You can play the homebrew version at 60 frames with widescreen. And look, I'm not saying that's the definitive version of the game, but for God's sake, Nintendo, at least give us parity with that. I mean, if homebrew people are doing that, then there's no reason. You own the source code to this game. Why couldn't you include that yourselves in the game? And I think that's the most disappointing part. The Mario All-Stars name has this prestige, or it used to have this prestige about it. Like the original one that came out on the Super NES was absolutely mind-blowing when it came out. Like, here are 4 games from the NES era that they've brought to the Super NES that look amazing, but they still play very, very much the same as the NES games. And I expected the same thing here. I mean, I expected something more than what they've given us. And Nate's right. I mean, they're just 3 ports of these games to the Switch. And look, you could say, well, that's what people want, sure, but why haven't they given us some of these extras? I mean, that really make this collection something special. At the end of the day, this is just a, 3 ports of games that are great games, but I expected something more from this collection.
Okay. The widescreen thing is the thing that caught me with that Mario 64 because they specifically went to like that 4:3 and I was like, that's strange. Like, okay, weird. Yeah. All right then. 30 frames. 64 is 30 frames also?
30 frames,
okay.
Yes.
That was Sunshine.
30 frames.
Sunshine 30 frames is another baffling thing because a 60 frames a second build exists. The original time they showed Sunshine, it was 60 frames a second. So Nintendo did make this game with 60 frames in mind, and then they cut it to 30 frames when they launched the game. So they could have made this a 60 frame a second game.
Is Galaxy 60?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the only one that's 60 frames, and it's the only game in the collection that has a dynamic resolution.
That's interesting.
So with dynamic resolution as because they said that it's 1080p. So
it's up. It's set up to. It's
up to 1080p and up to 720p.
Okay.
You know, Sunshine was just straight 1080p, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Just keeps getting better. All right. And let's go over to the super chats then, and we'll finish up with the Nvidia RTX stuff. Evan, you said we have 2 Discord questions to go along with that anyway, right? So cool. All right, that'll work. Shinru says, evening everyone. People are complaining about Mario 3D Collection is inferior to Crash Spyro remakes and shouldn't be $6. Thoughts? I mean, I'd say the Crash and Spyro remakes were better because it came from the PS1, but I mean, it's still Mario 3D. It's got Galaxy and Sunshine.
Yeah, the comparison's tough in that case. I mean, Activision went, far and beyond with those games because they were full-on remasters. These aren't remasters. They're upscaled HD ports of these games with minor quality of life touches here and there. I think $60 is still, a decent value. These games would cost you more than $60 if you bought them individually.
Sunshine's $55 right now, minimum on eBay. So it's like that's the whole thing.
It went down after the announcement, right? Like
I think it dropped like $10.
It dropped a little bit afterwards because
hold those GameCube games, hold them
to get complete in box earlier in the year for Sunshine. When I was doing it was like up to $75 to $80 for Sunshine.
Yeah,
high quality. Like we're not talking just like the crappy box, and we're talking high quality. It was like $75 to $80 for that. So
hold those GameCube games, I'm telling you. Dolo says, Daddy would never live a lie. This is for Sean.
Man.
Okay.
That's fair.
Matta says Tony Hawk 1 and 2 feels great, but Xbox users go and pick up SSX 3 for under $15. It's ultimately the better game with all the tracks and progression. I don't know, Tony Hawk 1 and 2, it's still really good. And Rascal says Chrono for Smash and remake of Chrono Trigger, i.e. Trials of Mana. We talked about it last time. That's probably as far as Square would probably take it. They wouldn't go Final Fantasy VII remake route because they might not be sure how well Chrono would sell. Gavin says, should Nintendo release the BS Zelda games for Nintendo Switch Online in 2021? They should, but that means they'd have to translate it, and they don't seem to want to do that because they brought Fire Emblem to the Japanese Nintendo Switch Online, but not to the American one. They would have had to have translated that, and they didn't seem to want to. That would be cool to see BS Zelda come over. It's like that's a Teleview one. That'd be weird. Gustavo says, my go-to in the morning when I wake up before going to work, gaming news at its best. PS, nothing is real anymore for that PS5 cake. Romeo says, how is it that I got my guy hacked the Switch and he got Mario 64? This was like 2 weeks ago. Charlie says, will you invite Alpha Mega Sin to the Spawncast? Yeah, we've had Alpha on here before. Absolutely. He can come back. Yeah, it was always fun when Alpha was on. Dolo says, yes, Nate, I paid money to say stop being shy.
He's so shy. Dun, 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 dun. He's so shy.
Lily says, is that agreeable grunt clip from Avengers Reel? Yes. Yeah, right? Yes. Rukia says the Avengers game looks like it was made by WWE 2K team.
Not that bad.
Yeah, it ran over 10 frames per second most times. It's not the Switch version of 2K18.
People out here, it's not Avengers isn't.
Also, to be fair, the WWE 2K stuff is hilarious sometimes. So, like if you see those clips on Twitter, so at least there's some entertainment there.
George speaking of wrestling, I heard there's a new wrestling channel in the world.
Gosh. Tables, Ladders, and Sean. When's that first video going up?
Yeah, I got a lot of content, right?
I'm waiting on my graphics to come in. My graphics guy, he's a piece of shit. But he said it should be up. He should have it to me by tomorrow, and then we'll see.
It's gonna be done by tomorrow. Wow, that's fast. Okay, nice.
Man, the thrill of launching a new thing like that, doesn't that feel so good? Like I love putting out new stuff.
I hate it. Because it means that I have to keep up with it.
This implies Jake, more work for Sean, so...
Yeah.
Jake, we've been telling him to do this for a year. I came up with that name for his channel a year ago.
Might have been longer than that.
It was a long time ago where I pushed him. I was like, dude, you got to tables, ladders, and Sean.
Quality takes time.
I have to justify my $315 Hasbro purchase last night.
Well, see, you make your first video about that, you write it off in taxes.
That's not going to come in for like 2 weeks, I think it said. But I've been buying other Hasbro figures. So some douchebag on eBay. I wanted a Hasbro ring and some figures to go with it, loose figures. And like this dude had this listing for $350. I offered him $250, $275, and $285, and he rejected all of them. Then he lowered the price down to $315, free shipping. And I'm like, you should have just taken my $285, you asshole. But then I had to like go crawling back to him. But it has a really mint ring where he's refurbished it. It has a custom blue steel cage because they never released that. And it has like 15 figures. And then I bought the Rockers and Giant Gonzalez last night because I couldn't sleep and it was like 5 a.m. and I buy things when I can't sleep because I have problems.
Perfect medicine.
Yeah, it's bad, dude. So yeah, I mean, I probably spent like $350 on these fucking Hasbro things, and I feel like I'm gonna get to the point of where like I want the complete set, and like looking at complete set prices are just ridiculous. It's disgusting how expensive some of these figures are. So I'll probably never do it, but I mean, it's cool shit. I realized being an adult, at least in my mind, is just buying all the shit you wanted as a kid, but your parents were poor and couldn't buy it for you. And now you got some money, so you're like, fuck, I'm going to buy it now. And like,
I'll buy 2 of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, who cares? You know,
I'll show them. Yeah.
Yeah. Look what I got. You couldn't provide for me.
I just picture you like just reciting that like at like 3 a.m. as you're clicking like buy it now on eBay.
Like Rorschach's manifesto.
He puts it in Google Translate.
Oh man. All right. Well, now that we've learned all about Sean's 3 a.m. purchases on eBay, George says just bought a camera after years of talking into my phone. Thanks to everyone for keeping me inspired and helping me keep going. Console Gamer says, gotta ask Jake the infamous Spawncast question, N64 or GameCube? Also, Nate, been loving your podcast, MVG. Keep it up, guys. All right, Jake, N64 or GameCube?
GameCube. I was poor. Didn't have a 64.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
Yep.
He has 6 Nintendo 64s now since he couldn't afford them back then.
Yeah, to make up for it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's laughing now?
It's just better.
Oh gosh. Okay, we can't go down that.
It has a handle, so
it does have a
there you
handle.
go.
That's it.
Tesla says Hideo Kojima made limited babies in a jar. They do. Sean has one of them.
Sean has one.
Yeah, but I could buy the game 6 months after it came out. That's the point. That's the point. It's not about
buy the baby on its own.
Yeah, but you can't show. But when the girls come over, you can't show them the baby in the jar. If you bought a 3D Mario collection instead, right? There you go. You got the baby in the jar sitting up in your arcade room. Is that in your arcade room in your bedroom?
No, it's in the bedroom, homie.
You really put that in the bedroom?
Did you put a light in it so it's like a nightlight?
It's mood lighting. Cast a nice golden light across.
Oh my God. Tell me you backlit that thing.
You have this baby in a jar just sitting in your room.
The shadows cast up on the wall. It's just a fetus.
It's a light.
It's a significant baby. It's very significant to the story.
Jinoki Cruz says round 1 fight. Nate was getting heated over there.
First round knockout.
Okay.
You can't knock out anybody over complaining about Mario, bro. I'm sorry. That's no knockout, man. I'm sorry.
I Chicago'd that Apollo Creed.
I'm sorry.
Juice Man Vaughn says we don't know what Nintendo is going to do with these Mario games, so getting so angry over what you don't know is kind of corny. I'm telling you, Mario 64 is going into Nintendo Switch Online this time next year. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. That Mario 3D collection can't exist if Mario 64 is really going into the.
No, it depends. Corny,
depends if it's emulation or ports. If it's emulation, then you could be onto something. If it's port, then
it's going to be this exact same version. they just pull it off the cartridge and drop it in. Well, whenever people will know these are ports. MVG.
Look how long it takes Nintendo to put on a Super NES game on the service? If they're gonna HD some of these N64 games, we're gonna get one a year. So we're gonna get Mario 64, and then by Switch 2, we might get like Star Fox.
Listen, here's what's really happening. All right, Super Mario 64 next year, specifically that game. Next year is the 25th anniversary of that game, so they're gonna do a full-on remake of it.
Drop it in.
It'll be called Super Mario Odyssey 2.
Nah, I'm good. Odyssey's okay.
Whoa, what? Odyssey's awesome. What?
Odyssey's my favorite Switch game.
Odyssey's great, but not on a replay.
Yes.
Try replaying it.
I have been. I've been going through and getting some of the moves that I've missed.
How? Well, moons you missed, but like replaying the game, like just.
I mean, there's like a billion fucking moons to find.
Okay, but then replay the game after that. You'll be sick of it. It's just not as fun the second time.
I mean, maybe.
Let's go through some of these super chats to finish up, and we're gonna go over to RTX stuff to finish there. We have 591 says just emulate them at better resolution performance and with more effort into them than what Nintendo is doing for the collection limited digital. Get out. Knox says if Nintendo can get through the Super Nintendo Classic, they can get through 3D All Stars. Jintoki Cruz says I don't know why Nintendo makes it. Why Nintendo doesn't make it an evergreen title? The 3D All Star would probably be a 20 million seller, no problem, before the end of this. Which is
the limitedness is going to make it sell more copies because Mario needs a reason.
It'll sell well.
Yeah.
Luna says
when they come digitally, that's going to be so funny. You guys will be like, "Well, I was right back then."
I mean, we all
when they eventually release it digitally.
But you can't assume that this is Nintendo.
Why can't I? You guys are assuming that it's never going to be available ever again. So
because as of right now, that is the case.
OJ, you can't use reverse logic. You can't.
I know, whatever. We can assume that we're never going to see it again, but okay, it'll never be resold again, guys. So let's get
because that is what Nintendo has told us thus far. It's obviously an extreme.
Okay, they're never going to sell it again. You guys are right. Okay, I'm sorry. And get mad. Even though we can all pre-order and play it, get mad. I'm sorry. My bad. They're never going to sell it. We can all get the game, but okay, be mad for somebody else. All right.
Hey,
okay,
got it.
My bad.
Hey, it's recorded on YouTube, so there you go.
You don't know my financial situation. I just spent $350 on fucking Hasbro figures, meaning bread, slices of bread.
Didn't you just say that you pre-ordered the game, Sean? Mario?
I mean, yeah, but
how many copies did you pre-order?
I had to get the digital copy to play, and then the sealed one.
Here's the other thing I realized: we don't necessarily know if our we don't what we don't really know right now is if our digital purchases are going to follow us to the next Switch.
I would assume they would.
No, I highly doubt it.
I'm betting. I mean,
you're assuming again,
I'm going to
Sean,
assume they're not.
You're never going to be able to transfer it.
They're never going to be available again.
Never.
All your purchases,
I mean, well, that's not
Nintendo hasn't exactly set a precedent where we have been able to transfer our stuff. So I'm not going to default and say, yeah, it's never going to happen.
I don't know about you, but the Rebirth series that I paid for on the Wii hasn't come over, so I'm still salty about that.
The what series?
It never were re-released, and where the fuck is the Rebirth compilation? You stupid fuck, Konami! Like, holy shit! Talk about leaving money on the table.
Konami just gets beaten up every spot.
Now Konami deserves it. Nintendo stuff, whatever. But this Konami situation is ridiculous.
No, now it's whatever for Nintendo. I understand.
What Luna says, what Nintendo is doing with Mario 3D All Stars is no different than what Disney does with their Vault of movies.
I was literally going to bring up the Disney Vault.
Yeah, not anymore. Now they just have Disney Plus.
Yeah, but don't people hate Disney though?
Mulan in it.
Yes, people do hate Disney, but it works. People have obliged by it by how long now? Decades?
Forever.
Yeah. Wow. Rob says loser Nintendo over winner Nintendo, e.g. GameCube over Wii. Oh, okay. As you're saying, because the Wii sold so well. The Wii sold so well. I mean, hey, here soon the Switch will have outsold the Wii. So there you go. The Wii will be a thing of the past then as their best-selling home console. Derek says, if there is a Zelda collection, will that be limited and have more in the package than the Mario collection? It'll definitely be limited, I bet. We'll do that again.
I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised though if Zelda doesn't get as much love as Mario.
That's gonna, yeah.
It would really stink, but
right.
like I'm personally prepared for it because Mario's always been obviously like the poster child.
I would have
you
said
think
that.
of like Nintendo World, but
I would have said that before the Switch came out, but after how beloved Breath of the Wild became and how big it became, I think they're going to give more attention to Legend of Zelda next year.
Listen,
Before that,
Jordan, don't
they
get my
skipped
hopes
a whole
up, okay?
generation. They're just like, yeah, Zelda, we'll get it when we get it.
Don't
Now
do that to me.
people are demanding it. So
Don't do that to me.
What the hell? All they have to do next year is release Breath of the Wild 2, and it's a better celebration for Zelda than Mario got this year.
Oh God,
that's true. If it finishes up at the end with Breath of the Wild 2, and then you throw Skyward Sword there, and then a collection of like some of the older Zelda games thrown all on the one cartridge.
I mean, honestly though,
pretty good.
I have a question. Like with the Mario stuff, do you feel like they had to end up delaying it in the long run? Like, couldn't this have been like a longer celebration? But obviously, because of this year.
Oh, I think this whole year's messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, like I genuinely feel like this was stuff that they had planned out months ago, and then obviously they're placeholding things because they're all getting delayed. Like if they had closed the year out with 3D World,
I bet 3D World was going to be. I think 3D World might have been trying to get it closer even to like when they were going to open the theme park and all of that. Have like that as a month. 3D World is on the next month. They have like the Levi's and the Lego stuff, and they cap it off with this 3D All Star stuff on the anniversary.
And the shoes.
Yeah, the shoes. Everything just got messed up. Everything feels like it just got thrown out there when they could get it out, and it's like. I think so. Next year might just be more organized for Zelda, which might actually just make it better anyway. So
yeah.
Let's go over to last topic. It's one that Sean, I don't know. You can watch AEW. It's fine.
No, I am.
There was some excitement because we had the new RTX cards shown, and I gotta say they look pretty good. There's the RTX 3070, 3080, and 3090. The 3090, by the way, is the size of the PlayStation 5 system. It's bigger than the Series X. Like there's a comparison of it next to it. It is huge, it's massive. This dude turns around taking it out of his oven. He took one from behind the plant, had one in the cabinet. It's all over the place, right? But the RTX 3080 is going to retail at $700, and it is more powerful than the RTX 2080 Ti right now, which it was $1,200, and there people are just fire selling those right now, trying to get rid of them if they can. I don't think anyone's going to buy the 2080 Ti's right now. There's just no point. Secondhand, used, anything, nothing, no reason to. And 3070 is in at $500. The 3070 is more powerful than the 2080 Ti.
I think some people will get desperate and sell their 2080 Ti's at ridiculously low prices, and I think at that point it'd be worth buying if you really are on a low budget.
It's good for a small streaming computer. I mean, it's got the great NVENC codec stuff. It's nice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I think people need to just breathe a little bit, because what we've seen so far from Digital Foundry and have been very controlled benchmarks. Because if you watch that video, Rich Ledbetter basically came out and said, yes, Nvidia did not sponsor this video. However, we had to pick, they picked the games for us to benchmark, right? So, I mean, sure, in the best case scenario, you're going to get an 80% performance boost. And look, you can't dispute that. That's a massive increase. But in real world games, like just the average game that you want to play, what level of performance boost are you going to get? And I think, people really need to just wait and look at some hard numbers before they make decisions.
I was really hoping they were going to fire up Flight Simulator. I was really hoping that was going to get fired up.
That's what I wanted too. Like show us something that's got a lot of GPU processing,
Crisis remastered, coming up right alongside that. That'll be nice to see that on that card. But like $700 for that 3080, I was shocked that it was so low, that price. I was positive they were going to show us $1,000 card for the 3080 and then move on. But like $700, that's surprisingly competitive by Nvidia.
Oh yeah, it's a great prize.
I will say it does make me wonder what AMD is going to show, because almost
suspicious. Yeah,
I almost wonder if they were like hearing about AMD and they're like, they got wind. Maybe we should get this a little lower just to be competitive, because they'll probably show something that won't compete with the 3080 around that price. So if the 3080 was $1,000 and AMD shows something at like $600, and it's like, all right, then it would have been better. But now it's like AMD might be in trouble with that pricing. But I will say, OJ, if we're looking at these cards, the RTX, I think a lot of people have talked about the RTX 3070 as being like the one to get for most people. Editing will go faster because it has the improved tensor cores and all of that, and of course it's stronger than a 2080 Ti out of the gate. So like 1440p and 4K, all of that should be fairly attainable.
I actually have a pretty serious question. I know a lot of tech people are here. What graphics card will play Avengers the best possible way? That's what I want to know.
The 3090.
It's called a trash can where you leave the case.
Which one is the Avengers machine? The Avengers Nobody's okay, nobody. Okay.
Oh man,
This is the best podcast ever.
So I'm grabbing that. I'm grabbing that 3080. That's coming out September 17th.
Yeah, probably
I'll go with the 3080 as well.
My buddy's getting the 3090 just because he's crazy.
There's no. I thought about. I looked at that. I was like, "There's no. It's not worth the memes." Like I thought about it. I was like,
I asked him. I was like, "What the hell are you gonna play on it?" And he went, "Nothing. I'm just bored." I went, okay.
But the point of the 3090 is that they want to get 8K 60 out of it. And I'm like, I don't have anything that's 8K that I'd hook it up to right now. I'm still doing 1440 at high frame rate, but like now I'm noticing the 2070 Super MVG still, it's not hitting that 144 as much as I'd like. So yeah, I think this 3080 is going to get me there, and that's all I want. I want that 1440p, 144. I want it just locked against it. I want it like slammed hard against the 144 straight up. No worried about that. So yes, I'm grabbing
3080 looks good. 3080 looks really good for the price is really solid on the 3080 as well.
It's pretty beefy.
There've been a lot of talks around this versus next gen consoles, but you really can't compare them because this is just the video card. Like you
can't compare them. You can't compare them. I agree, but you got to respect Nvidia for just walking in and just dropping a price.
Oh sure,
and saying, "Here we go. This is it." Right? Sony and Microsoft really just need to follow suit.
How do we find out the prices for these 30 series cards before the consoles?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
It's tell me, man. I think like somebody said, like the game of chicken, right? I think that's really what it comes down to. Like you can't price things too early because then they're going to undercut you. Sony has had a decades-long history of doing that and wrecking people for doing that. They did it to Sega, and that screwed Sega. Sony's completely destroyed Sega. So many over the generations. That's the real reason why one of the reasons why Sega isn't around is because of Sony. But like the Microsoft with the Xbox, that E3 that ruined everything for Microsoft.
Yeah, but like Nvidia and AMD do that too. They'll usually announce their video cards like weeks before they come out with pricing and everything. But this time Nvidia just like walked up, dropped it all on the table, and was like, "All right, we're good." So like at this point, Sony or Microsoft just need to do the same thing. I think Sony's going to do it soon. I think they're going to announce their price first.
And they have to. Time's running out.
I think they might. I mean, there have been talks about them doing it this week coming up.
But I heard these new things were making the PS5 and the Xbox Series X obsolete.
No, because all right. So Evan and I know this completely because we dealt with it for a decade, over a decade, right? Right. You know this too, Sean, because we talked about this. People just don't want to use if they. Like PC gaming just isn't for everyone, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sean's computer will play most of the games that he has now better than every console he has in his house, but he does not play it on his PC. He just won't. He won't. Right? You're right. You could probably see your TV from your PC, or since you have two monitors, you could play something on your other monitor while you're playing a game, right?
Oh yeah.
But you don't play anything on your computer.
No. I bought a game for my computer. I bought Sonic Lost World because it was like $4 game.
What?
And then I never played it. I don't know.
Don't you have Game Pass?
Dude, just
playing any of the games on Game Pass on your PC?
He needs to have Game Pass Ultimate. Do you have Game Pass Ultimate?
No, Game Pass Ultimate.
Dude, just go to Humble Bundle
for 3 months.
Dude, when Humble Bundle comes up,
$350 on a Hasbro.
3 months limited.
Oh gosh, all right. I the 3080. I'm on it. I'm on the 3080. I'm looking for it. What do you think, Jake? What do you got? You getting a new video card this fall?
I was dumb, and I kind of recently got a good deal on a 2080.
Oh no,
so...
how good of a deal? Tell us a number.
Oh no, don't say it out loud. Write it down. Then
yeah,
I got a good deal.
Put it in chat so we can laugh at you.
No, I don't want. No, the only thing I think is exciting is like I feel like if the numbers and the benchmarks once it releases prove to be what they are saying, I feel like graphics cards and this type of PC technology the past couple of years, it feels like when smartphones every year were getting insanely over the top every single year.
Yep.
Now we've kind of plateaued, but for right now with GPUs, it feels like the same thing in terms of price, accessibility, and the tech. It's like fucking awesome.
Yeah. So here's the good news. I don't really see a massive need for 8K for me anyway. And I think I'd say 98% of people are like, 4K is pretty good. I like that they've essentially conquered 4K now with a lot of these cards that are coming out. So I mean, I'm good if they keep putting out stronger cards. The mid-range one, like the 3080, for example, because they have the 3090, which is like the ridiculous one.
And they'll bring out the TI version like next year, right? I mean, there'll be a 3080 Ti and a 3070 Ti.
There's already rumors for the 3070 Ti.
Yep.
Like
immediately.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm good. I'll be like, I'll stick at 4K. I play at 1440p now, and I think it looks good as it is. So I'll go up to 4K when we get the 4K HDR 144 hertz. And I mean, they did this thing where they brought people in and showed them 8K. I think it was an Nvidia event recently, and I think I feel like Jeff wrote about I think he wrote about it, and people couldn't really tell the difference.
Ask him.
Yeah, Jeff, you know what I'm talking about. Jeff, you know what I'm talking about, right? He's in the chat. They did a whole thing where they brought him in and they did like 8K and 4K, and I'm almost positive most of them just couldn't tell the difference. Like it gets to a point where it's
it's diminishing returns. Really,
isn't it also like screen size? Like the 8K would look great at a massive scale comparatively, but like why would you?
It's the screen size and distance that you are from the screen that you'll notice those finer details.
It has to be blown. You have to blow it up to like. I mean, we're getting to the point where like theater level like size, where you notice some of the differences. So
I play most of my PC games on, and I'm not flexing or anything, but like I play it on like a 50-something inch OLED, and I'm
LG.
Yeah, but are you right next to it? Like, is it right in front of you?
LG C8.
Yeah, those are nice.
Totally happy with 1440, and when I can run 4K, I'm like, cool. 8K is still this like. For the first time, I'm usually like a snob, but I'm like, I don't need that. That's ridiculous.
Not required immediately.
I don't think it's worth the frame rate dip because it's hard to run 8K, obviously. So I'd rather be very smooth, and I'm good with 4K.
3090, I just see for production. I'm like, cool, great for
that's a good point.
Movie editors, great, cool stuff like that. Developers, but
I mean, then you get streamers and stuff, and we're still like waiting for streaming tech to catch up so we can stream things to make them look better.
Adobe kicked in like an update for newer Nvidia cards where it'll use like the tensor cores and everything to render fast. So like videos render super fast now on it. So MVG is going to go from a GTX 1080 to this 3080. Dude, that's massive.
Yeah, dude, I was going to say, I always go back, like, I always like leapfrog one iteration. So I kind of didn't really get on board with the 20 series because I didn't, the RTX stuff was interesting, but I just felt like it wasn't really mature enough at that point. It was just being introduced. So yeah, I usually will just leapfrog a generation and get on to the next one. So yeah, I'm going to get a pretty good boost when I get the 3080.
I think I had your card that you a while ago, and I was doing all the Newswave edits, and my buddy found a really good deal on a 2060, I think, and we just both bought them just because I wanted the tensor cores. I wanted to see the rendering potential, and it cut it down by like a quarter to a half every episode in terms of render time. So it's going to be great with these 3080s.
Yep. Evan, Discord questions to finish up.
So related to the Nvidia stuff, real quick. Yeah, related to the Nvidia stuff. 2 questions, but they're both basically the same thing. With all the announcements Nvidia just put out, what could this mean for any potential future thing with either a next iteration Switch or the next generation of whatever they put out?
Oh, the Nvidia stuff that was shown
in terms of like power, cost, like what possibly could change.
The problem is the Tegra is kind of its own. It's off on its own, sort of. So like, I don't know how much they'll pull from these outside of using maybe tensor cores in it. And seriously, they have to develop it specifically for the Tegra and probably specifically for the Switch, which might be worth it for them now because it's sold so well.
We talked like the main thing would be like DLSS if they could put it
upscaling.
On a Switch.
They would go for AI upscaling. I think they just introduced DLSS 2.1 now as well. So they're by the time the Switch is out, we might be on 3. So like the next Switch. I think that's the biggest push for Nintendo is to work with a high refresh rate screen for the system itself in handheld mode, and then push DLSS to attain like a higher resolution. They could go all the way up to 4K if they have the right design.
I mean, look at some of the tests that they've done with DLSS. I mean, they've taken control down to like 540p, and with it, they're getting visual quality that matches, if not surpasses, native 4K. And if Nintendo can use that in the next Switch, that could be huge for them because now they don't have to just chase the power of these, the other consoles. They can use this awesome technology and kind of close that gap. So it could play big for Nintendo in the next gen Switch, not the 2021 revision.
Yeah. Okay, so let's Evan, we have another Discord question.
No, and actually, just real quick, because
cool.
I know we were talking about resolution, and people might be trying to figure out where those types of things lie. IMAX is 6K. IMAX maximum is 12K for resolution on a screen. So that's like the size of a screen. So when you're watching, when you're looking at 8K on like a 40-inch,
you probably want like those 100-inch, the 120-inch projector style, the really big screens in your basement to really take advantage of 8K. That's just I don't know. It's getting a little out there now with resolution. They should work on what they should work on is HDR. That's the biggest thing they should really start working on now, because that's all over the board right now.
Makes all the difference too.
Yeah, they need to work on that a bit more. Liam, we'll go through some of the Streamlabs here before we finish up. Liam says, with the exception of Amiibo, since in most cases those are more add-ons than essential to the gameplay, did any of you getting into the toys to life figure games?
Yeah,
Starlink was interesting, but that's just because they had the R-Wing.
I think the R-Wing. Yeah.
And Disney Infinity started to get really good, and then the bottom dropped out.
Oh, I remember that because we ended up getting hundreds of them in all at once on trade-ins, and it was like, we gotta sell these things for like $1.
Yeah, I kind of
really pulled me in for a bit.
I snipped out the fad.
Trick.
Yeah.
Pretty early. Like I knew this was gonna be like a thing that's that's just kind of gimmicky because there's just so many of them, you know? And like every year there was like a new model or a new toy. Yeah. It felt like a Guitar Hero type of thing, like that, you know, like it was just gonna end up, you're just gonna have a bunch of this crap in your room and then what. So I always just played it at other people's house. Like I remember when Skylanders first came out, that was the original thing, right? Like it was Skylander, or it was Spyro with Skylanders. Like I remember playing.
No, you get it right. It was Skylanders using Spyro's name to sell Skylanders.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember playing.
Never forgive what they did to my boy.
They messed him up pretty good.
Have you seen his face?
It's bad.
He's real jacked up.
I thought it was cool at the time.
No, I mean I was sucked into it too. I tried so hard to give it its fair due.
I tried. I just didn't feel like buying all that crap. It felt to me like it was like too expensive. There's just all these. Like it was just like not. If they made it to where you can just get them normally, I would have been into it. But the fact that everything's a toy, I was already too old at that point, and I didn't have my daughter wasn't around either, so it was just.
Let's go to Xavion. Says people on Twitter are saying that the Xbox Series X will perform on the same level as the 3080, 3070 because of optimization. The Xbox Series X is powerful for a console, but people are misunderstanding what that means. It is not going to outperform a $400, $800 GPU. I don't think it's going to outperform the 3080. No, I don't think so. 3070 will be an interesting comparison. We'll see, but God, the 3080 is a beast at its price. And like I said, you're still
more interesting.
Go ahead, Jake.
Go ahead. I was going to say the more interesting thing, the conversation can be had more with the proprietary SSD work that they're trying to do with the consoles. But even Nvidia announced that they're doing stuff with
partnering with Microsoft. Yeah, they're doing their own. So that I think the idea that they were trying to post was that instead of it having to go to the CPU to unpack and then come back to the video card and then go into memory, it would just bypass the CPU and the video card would handle a lot of the crazy IO operations. It was a cool idea. It'll be interesting to see how it works in practice, but that could substantially change load times and all of that. So it'd be pretty cool to see that. Wishbone says, I'm going to wait for AMD Big Navi. They are going to be using HBM memory like the Radeon 7. They just need to got to stop getting too fancy with it. Just go GDDR6X. Wing says, any time management tips for when you are first starting out in content creation? Started about a month ago. Can't seem to find a good balance. Sean, time management. How did they do it?
Don't.
What kind of channel is it? What are you doing on it? There's a lot of variables.
What's your goals? One episode a day?
Yeah, treat it like a hobby. Have fun with it. If it starts to become a business, look at it like a business. If it doesn't ever become a business, at least you have a fun hobby.
Okay, but time management stuff.
That's how you manage your time, based on how, don't waste your whole day to make a video if it's if it's not something that you enjoy doing. If you're trying to do it for a bigger goal, you have to take things as they come to you.
That's good advice.
Also,
that's good advice.
I've been learning I've been learning recently is still prioritizing, like, the production can eat into the actual conceptualization of the content, like the making it good part. So make sure you're not focused on just like, I got to edit this and I got to do that. Make sure you give yourself time to actually make sure it's entertaining or informative or fact checked, because that's just important. That's honestly more important. A roughly edited video can be more effective when it's good and smart and informed and entertaining.
That is some of the best advice I've heard given. That is so true. And that's something that a lot of people don't talk about. It's always the end product and not how you make the whole product, because it's such a stressful journey sometimes when you, for example, let's say you're doing something that requires research and writing and all this stuff. You're always focused on what it's going to be at the end, and it's so there's so much work that goes into it in the middle, and that's either going to determine if your video is exactly what you want it to be or something you half-assed just to get out because you didn't want to do it.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go around here and do outros as I go through the rest of these Streamlabs here. Let's go to Jordan. Jordan, where can they find you?
I'm around. I'm on the internet. You can find me on my streams, I guess. Jordan Fringe on Twitch.
Oh, cool. There is a question here, actually, next Streamlabs. It says, hey, gang. This is from Mr. Apple. Hey, gang. Been a fan for a couple years now. I have a question for Jordan, since he's the Pokemon TCG guy. Any idea why Heart Gold, Soul Silver cards recently price jumped? Primes, Legends, and Shinies.
10 years old.
All got more expensive in the last month.
They hit the decade. Yeah.
So there's two things. One, they're 10 years old, so they're entering the pre-vintage era. Just even like early beginning this year, before the pandemic was really starting, I made some large purchases of sealed Heart Gold, Soul Silver era stuff, and it's already jumped 3 times the price since then.
Okay.
The other thing is everyone is jumping into the card market right now. Everyone's investing in it, from large influencers to people which have a lot of money invested private. It's crazy. There's a lot of, it sounds so stupid that people are just figuring out that cards can be valuable now. But there's a lot into that. I think if anyone knows who Gary Vee is, he's really been out there promoting the whole buying into this card stuff right now. And the next few years is going to be a huge boom in card prices and what they're worth. And we just saw a Charizard jump up to $72,000 that was just sold recently. There's a lot in there. This is why stuff is jumping up. All right,
I kept my Charizard in my lunchbox. Those are good times.
I'm sure it's in great condition.
Yes,
where he belongs,
covered in all the baloney.
Jeff Burns says most people don't realize, at least in North America, electronics are almost always sent here by ship, and that the times to travel here is between 6 to 12 weeks. If you think about that, the PS5 and Series X really should be on their way here now. Hey, Jake, thanks for joining us tonight. Can you let the good people know where they can find you?
Thank you for having me. This was the blast, probably the most fun I've had in a while, for real. You can find me on the daily on Game Ranks. I'm making content behind the scenes. If it's a before you buy video, it's usually me, Avengers, and Tony Hawk right now. I'm doing news every Friday. And then also on my other YouTube channel, just Jake Baldino. It's where I'm trying to just kind of do more fun stuff, not for the algorithm, and just talk about whatever I want. And then Twitter and Instagram, talking shit all day.
Wait, you're talking shit on Twitter? I gotta follow you.
I linked your Jake Baldino channel down in the description too. So I linked that one. I figured that's probably the one you'd be more interested in linking to, since it was mostly your channel there. So
it's been nice down there. Though, putting out videos not for SEO and just kind of like, I want to talk about this, put it out there. Don't worry about title, thumbnail, and just kind of talk, because that's what I've always kind of been doing.
No, so that's good. I like when you do the movie talk.
Thank you.
Let's
watch the Batman movie trailer a lot.
Here's a good one for MVG. Anon says, is MVG ready to admit that he, beat 'em ups, and Alana Pierce are part of the secret Australian cabal that control video games?
Yes. I mean, it's a secret, so why would we?
It's the accent, man.
Why would we admit it?
And scale up.
We should get Alana and Wood and myself on a podcast
all at once. At once.
No, the internet would explode, man.
All at once. The invitation's out there. All at once. Get Wood, Alana, and MVG all in the same place at the same time. And then you guys can ask them the questions that need to be asked about this secret Australian cabal that apparently is happening. Where can they find you, MVG?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G, YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer. Look out for my Monday video on the Norm. And if you guys like Shantae Limited Run Games is selling pre-orders for the physical next Fridays, so check it out.
I'm on that. Switch.
Nice.
Oh
Switch,
yeah,
baby.
we're grabbing that. That's MVG's. That's MVG's game right there. We're ready.
If there's any bugs, it's not my fault.
Hey, you'll be here the next week.
Will you tell us whose fault it is? Can we email
we'll get to the bottom of that the following podcast after
support at limitedrungames.com. They'll take care of you.
If there's issues, you're not going to show up to the next podcast. He'll just be gone. Like Nate was gone that one time.
Yeah, Nate was gone real quick, right? What happened to Nate? Oh, he had a thing.
Party.
Like Nate was gone out of nowhere.
I'm getting married tomorrow. What's a bachelor party?
I'll be there, guys. Click.
No one's allowed to party right now.
That was really funny. That was the podcast after that showcase happened and the internet was on fire.
That was before. It was before. I wasn't here to talk about it before it happened.
And Nate left it to us that we had to deal with your destruction.
It was before that event happened. I went to the bachelor party, had some food, had some beers, had fun.
Some beers.
You're all sitting here talking about directs and shit.
Nate, where can they Nate, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter either at Nate the Hate followed by the number 2 or at Direct Feed Games. You can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate. We have a podcast where MVB and I talk about the Mario Direct and 3D All Stars. And you can find me on YouTube at Direct Feed Games. I'll have footage of probably some random ass indie games next week. Maybe a wrestling game too.
Oh, there you go.
No, that might be the week after. I'm not sure.
Battlegrounds?
Maybe.
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 Copyright grounds?
Oh, there you go. IB says they really missed a trick to put a Waluigi Smash reveal in the Mario Direct.
Do people actually want Waluigi in the game?
I think that's just a meme. I think it's just a meme.
No, I'd be upset.
And then
so it's like when everyone wanted Knack 2 and it was a meme and Sony thought it was real and they made Knack 2.
Oh, just wait till they announce Knack 3.
Yeah, where's Knack 3 though?
It's coming. Holiday.
All right.
Can't wait to not buy
Don't put that into the universe, Fringe.
Listen, I'll put it out there. Knack 3-player co-op. 2021.
And Shamsa comes in with the big 100. And you thanks Shamsa, we appreciate it. Shamsa was talking about the idea of again Spawncast Fall Guys gameplay session that Sean would have to be a part of.
Fall Guys is so like 2 weeks ago. We need to play like spell break.
No, we need Sean in for his inevitable rage.
Max, OJ, and I had fun. It was literally like our first time playing.
And
so...
Sean actually gets to use his PC then.
Yeah.
No, I would use the PlayStation 4. I'm not buying.
Can't crossplay.
There's no crossplay.
Oh, well, oh man, I'm sorry.
I'll talk to you about it, Sean, after the podcast. I think he'll jump in on it.
I can buy you the game, Sean.
No.
Are we supposed to do a Clubhouse game Spawncast competition?
Oh,
yeah, but we're upgrading that to Fall Guys.
Let's do it.
We're upgrading it to Fall Guys.
Clubhouse Games is a better game. I kicked Sean's ass at Connect 4.
Fall Guys is more fun.
A riveting gameplay.
On my resume.
Hey, Connect 4. It was a riveting game. There was a lot of mental gymnastics going on. Sean looked me in my dead cold eyes to try to read my moves.
In the hole.
Miss Click, where can they find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. You can find me on YouTube. I upload videos sometimes at Misclick Gaming, but I am pretty much live every day on Twitch at misclick_live. Yeah, we're gonna be playing games and shooting the shit.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cool. Sounds good. Liam says, also imagine Super Mario Sunshine with Joy-Con drift. I know Sean especially probably isn't looking forward to that inevitability, especially since they probably didn't fix the camera. 64 could be pretty bad too, although I think Galaxy will be fine.
It'll be cool.
And yeah, I think that's all of the. Okay, good. I think that's all of those. So let's go over to OJ. Where can they find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me right here on YouTube scalping copies of Super Mario 3D All Stars. I bought like 50 of them, selling them up. No, I'm joking. You can find me right here on YouTube. I stream daily. I also edit videos as well. So check out the channel and come talk. We do like video game like talk show stuff where we just talk about different games, you guys' topics. So it's a lot of fun every single day, and we play around and stuff. So it's fun. I also stream like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun and edit videos. JRPG, Nintendo. And Avengers now. I'm turning into Avengers channel, so there you go.
And let's go to Sean.
You can find me on RGT85 making videos and crap on there. And you can also find me on my new channel here. Oh, hey, oh, go ahead and subscribe to that.
Wow.
I gotta subscribe to this channel myself.
I'm so excited.
I'm gonna subscribe to it too. I gotta see these wrestling figures.
So I'm not.
I don't. Who's the Hulk Hogan's a wrestler?
I have to see these wrestling figures that you bought for $300. I have to see the quality of them.
$350.
$350. Got it. Okay. I'm gonna finish up with these super chats. Evan, what about you? Where can they find you?
Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Kimmerix Project. I'm going on break from doing commission work, so we're gonna get back to doing my own prints as well as stuff for the channel, as well as the Spawncast 200 shirt. And if you want to go check out, because a lot of people complain that I don't do the timestamps for these or anything like that. There's clips. I separate.
We got the clips. Spawncast clips. Go check it out.
Yeah, Wednesday through Friday. You can go listen.
Do you want to quickly advertise one of the best clips we've put up in a long time?
What, the one where Sean shit himself in the 5th grade?
There you go. There you go. It's up. It's up. You can go listen to it on the
full
Spawncast
story.
Clips
It's great.
channel.
And if you want to animate it, we did ask. It's something.
All right, that'd be a wild thing to have animated.
Oh my god, you should animate it like the Ricky Gervais show when they animated his podcast.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Content.
If somebody animates it and we put Sean's like retelling in the background behind the animation, we'll tweet it out and everything and put it on Twitter and put it on the Spawncast Clips channel too.
I could picture a little cartoon Sean in the baseball stadium just shitting his pants.
It was a Durham Bulls game. Please get it accurate.
It's up there. And let's finish up with these super chats. Rob says only one Zelda 3D HD collection or Breath of the Wild 2? Breath of the Wild 2. I've already played the Zelda 3 games. So I'm good with Breath of the Wild 2.
Yep.
Why would you not go with Breath of the Wild 2?
I know.
I'll take.
Why would anybody not pick that?
Nothing would surprise me at this point.
For limited time and $60. I'll buy it.
Jake dropped the super chat and said, "I'm having a nice time." Thanks,
Me
Jake.
too.
Cortland says, "I love watching you guys talk video games. Keep doing what you love. The 35th Mario collection is a hoax. I believe it's a marketing strategy for Nintendo to sell more copies. It's going to outsell Animal Crossing now." I don't know about that one.
No,
I don't think it's gonna be around long enough for that. Philip says, "How many units do you think 3D All Stars can sell in the limited time frame? 5 million, 10 million, etc." I'd say
many as they print.
I'd say at least 10 million. I can see 10 million.
10.
You're right there, Nate. What if they don't print that many? That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what they print. Whatever they print, retail will sell out, and then it's going to depend on the digital percentage. I mean, it's probably going to have a high amount of sales digitally because people are going to say, "Well, I'm going to buy one physically. I don't want to open it, so I have to buy it digitally." And then I think digital sales for Switch are roughly about 20 to 25% when it comes to like Nintendo games. But then there's outliers like Animal Crossing, which was astronomical digital.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's tough to really gauge. I mean, yeah, 10 million. Should be a lock. If it comes in less than 10 million, I'd be actually kind of concerned.
Click, this one's for you. Taker says, "Buy or sell Zelda playable in Breath of the Wild 2."
Buy or sell? You mean like the idea or don't like?
Yeah,
I guess
I think it would happen.
Like the idea.
I think it'd be cool. Do I think Nintendo would necessarily do it? My hopes aren't up there for it. I think if they have a method that works, I would love it, but I'm not. Don't hold your breath.
Playable segments of like certain segments where you can play as Zelda for like
don't hold my Breath of the Wild.
Part of me likes the fact that certain characters are untouchable. You know, like they're like kind of perfect. It doesn't make them feel like a Mary Sue. Like I feel like you'd have to nerf Zelda if she were to be a playable character. You know what I mean? Like you're not using magic or anything. You'd be using kind of like standard stuff. Like crazy.
Adrian says M35 is artificial scarcity by Nintendo. Charlie says, "Anyone see PC Mario 64 port with Odyssey moveset?" I've not seen that, but I will check it out.
Whoa.
David says, "Is 3D All Stars a limited run because they are going to release the collection with a ground up build of at least 64 in a year to 18 months? Probably not, because that'd make me happy." Rascal says, "Please DM me for Japanese pronunciation." Taker says, "N64 was underrated. Reed Richards built a matter transporter device with a bunch of them. I would think you would at least need a gaming PC for that."
I didn't think I would hear that reference.
Okay. Nox says, what's more likely, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask dual pack port, or debut titles for N64 Switch Online app? I'd like next year to be when they drop the N64 Online, at least, because it's not going to happen this year.
Virtual console, yeah, that'd be great.
Yep. Matthew says, Pixel Junk Eden 2 says it's out, but I can't download it eShop. I've been looking forward to. Any ideas? I'm not sure about that game.
But Pixel Junk Eden 1 was awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, it says it's out too. Maybe is it out like tomorrow, but it's like tonight? I don't know. Time zones and all of that. Sometimes eShop games go up at weird times, even though they're supposed to be out that day. Look says, what do you think of prices outside of US? I'm from Argentina, and a regular Switch is about 600 USD, and this is quite a poor country. Usually, I mean, a lot of it comes down to what import taxes and if it's produced there and all that. That's why they struck that deal for in like South America. I know recently.
570 or 560.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Import taxes and stuff. It just sucks because a lot of stuff that we talk about here, but I mean, there's a lot of people in other countries that are struggling. Me being a lot of my family from Nigeria. You don't even want to know the situation there. I mean, it's so bad for gamers to try to get games and stuff like that. It's expensive. It's sometimes faulty. It just does. So, I mean, we actually got it pretty good.
Lopez says Nintendo asked for piracy with the Mario collection. Evil says, watch Nintendo will troll us and put just Mario 64 on the cartridge to make us download the other two. Nah, that thing's 4.8 gigabytes. It's all going to be on the cartridge. Zero says, how big was that download, Sean, for 2K, by the way?
35 gigs.
Whew. Is that what you had, the physical copy of the cartridge?
No, I just got a digital.
Zero says a 13-episode Shenmue animated series was announced by Crunchyroll and Adult Swim covering Shenmue 1 and 2. Possibly a promotion for the fourth game. You can see that. Max is the one who's really into Shenmue around here. And he was pretty excited for it. Sonic Boom says...
to finish the story.
They won't. They said how many?
No way they're finishing the story.
There's 4 more games coming out after Shenmue 3 or something ridiculous.
So crazy.
Well, what the hell? Shenmue 3 didn't even advance the story.
The idea was that Shenmue 3, everyone thought I was going to finish the whole thing, and it's like, oh no, there's still another 4 games. How do you know there's going to be 4 more games at this point? It's like there's a lot of assumption on that.
They got scammed. The Kickstarter back.
They'll make comics or something. That's what they do, right?
They got scammed, bro.
It'll just end in
fanfic. Sonic Boom says MEG, but I watched the video by Nintendo yesterday on their YouTube channel, and it said Mario 64 is 16:9 widescreen. Then they say their unboxing video. I think they were incorrect because I think they were referring to Sunshine and Galaxy, and then 64 was just kind of.
If you watch the direct, it says 16:9 widescreen, but then like underneath is the fine print that says Mario Sunshine. It's like, okay.
Charlie says, guys, who wants an Time Splitters HD collection? Everyone does. Everyone. Yeah,
it's happening.
I think so too. I think THQ Nordic can actually do something similar to that.
They're actually making the things that like they say they were going to do, which is nice to see. Like they got all these IPs and they're like, okay, we're actually making them. So
yes,
good job on them.
Sabas says, what's heavier, a 3090 or a 30-inch sub? What do you think, Sean? You're gonna have to buy the 3090 to find out, right? Sean. So I didn't tell you. I entered you in a contest with Nvidia. And they said, explain to us the reason why we should send you a 3090. So what I did was I typed in, you should send it to Sean and have him do a video attempting to install it into his PC.
Oh, Jesus.
Doesn't that thing have a new power rail thing too? He's gonna have to get like
what is it? Let him learn. It's gonna come with an adapter and all of that. Oh man. Saul says Mario Party knockoff of Fall Guys only if Nintendo could get internet. Fall Guys is basically what Mario Party should have been. Yeah.
Yep.
L says 3090 is for people who make their money from Blender. Yeah. And then John says Nintendo has done limited collections for years. Zelda pack-in for GameCube, Kirby for Wii, even Prime Trilogy was end of cycle. It's not anti-consumer. Oh, here I can feel Nate right now, just like just
let it go.
Yeah. Jalen says hello, Spawncast crew. I think that's everything here. Oh, and Tesla says in 2000, Yu Suzuki said Shenmue was a 6-part series in interviews. Official Dreamcast magazine said it at the time. Yes, he is nuts. Thanks everyone for joining us for the Spawncast tonight. Appreciate it. Went a little longer, but I had a lot of fun talked about the Mario collection and all that. That was a good time. We'll be back next weekend, next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully Sony actually gives us a price by that MVG, and we'll have something to talk about there.
Doubt it.
PS5.
Hopefully.
Cool. Okay.
Prove me wrong, Sony. Prove me wrong. Let's go.
Fingers crossed.
There we go. All right. We'll see you guys then.
Can't wait to play Avengers on